Hello, hello. Welcome to the road trip. It's me, the DWTT. It's not. It's so not. We are joined obviously by Spencer Bronco in VA. How you doing, sir?
Doing just fine this morning.
And you got a little friend with you.
Yeah, Oreo. Well, he's left, but
Oreo had enough for this after 20 seconds. It's like,
yeah,
no, I'll be
he
back
can't be
later.
bothered.
Yeah. And I do have it under authority that we will be getting a visit from a special political leader of some variation, but that happen when it happens. How you doing, sir? In all seriousness,
Physically well, emotionally well. Arsenal wise, not good, but I'm above ground, and the sun will come up tomorrow, and everything else is fine, man. Everything else is fine. How about yourself?
no, that's a very fair point. I'm all right, but admittedly, I'd be a lot better if we put away Plymouth Argyle. Um, I'm not too greedy. Like a lot of Leeds fans getting above their station, saying, "Oh, it should be 7-0." I'm like, I'll take 1-0.
Yeah, you
But
always take a 1-0 any day of the week.
because I think we have a tendency as a fan base to go, oh, don't get me wrong, we are of a standard where someone is due an absolute hiding from us. But at the same time, to expect it, I'm like, no, that kind of thing ends up where you're getting embarrassed. But that being said, obviously, we go through the early scores in the day. In the Championship, Stoke beat Derby County 2-1. Swansea won 2-1 at Oxford United. Sheffield United won 2-0 at Blackburn Rovers, which basically means that they leapfrog Leeds United and Burnley into second. Is what it is. And there's no goals elsewhere, to my understanding. The FA Cup first round also gets underway today. Obviously, the most important tie of the first round is obviously Transmere versus Oldham Athletic, because of course it is. Why wouldn't it be? They are our team. No matter how many rappers try to buy them, they are the Trips team, the Road Trips team.
And what time do they play today? They kick off.
They kicked off 2 minutes ago, so
Okay.
it's a 3 p.m. kickoff in the UK. It's a big deal for a lot of clubs because a cup run can give you lots of money in England, especially if you play a game on TV. It sort of marries together because eventually, if a smaller club gets further, obviously they then get on TV, so they get twice the money. Wanderers Gamer, we know who it is really, of course, but he has speculated on the return. Speculated. He's heard Pol Pot has made a return. He's going to make a return. That's what he thinks.
Potentially.
I heard that too. We've all heard the rumours. It's not for me to say whether they're true or not, but we've all heard. And so Gary's commenting in the group chat with, "Oh, Gary's not happy. He's not happy. Surprise, surprise. He's not happy with Arsenal. I mean, he's thrilled with me because obviously he's not thrilled with me because it's what it is. But here we go. What's going on in the world of football? Let's see. Obviously, in the early kickoff in the Premier League, I don't really think I need to say what happened because you all know 90% or 95%, no, exaggerate, 98% of audience probably watched it and knows what happened. So I don't think I really need to say it. Spencer's face tells you what happened.
Yeah, I mean, there was 90 minutes of a game, and a team won and a team lost. That's all I know.
Yeah. Yeah. And the look from the expression on his face, it wasn't his team.
No, it wasn't a very happy morning.
I'm trying to be very careful how I approach this because my team are currently playing and I know that karma will come for me.
Yeah, they
I
can.
believe in that to an extent.
Yeah.
But 0-0 Leeds versus Plymouth, which is
And they have the great Wayne Rooney coaching Plymouth Argyle, so anything can happen. It can either be a 5-0 drubbing or a 5-0 win.
as I've said before, I generally don't wish managers to get sacked. I said this on Stoop yesterday, actually. I don't sit there clamouring for people to get sacked, but it would be funny if Wayne Rooney did get sacked tonight after a heavy defeat, because it'd be, how often do you know a manager to get sacked twice in the same calendar year for losing to the same club?
I'd have to do some research on that, but I imagine it's not many.
Yeah, no, I don't know the answer, but I don't want to go out on a limb and go, it'll be the only time it happened. It's probably not true. But obviously, he lost to us while we managed Birmingham, and obviously he got relieved of his job. And it may happen today because they've not exactly started their season great, Plymouth. I mean, they had a great result last week, being 3-0 down and not losing. Like, I give them that credit where it's true, but other than that, let's see what's going on. There's no goals anywhere. Tell a lie, there's a goal between Chesterfield and Horsham. Sorry. Russ Morgan, hello, sir. With pile of shit, but I'm not upset or surprised. Spoken like a true football fan in the sense of there are no goals. There are absolutely no goals in the Championship, Russ. Wanderers Gamer's been invited to a group chat by Ryan. Everyone's hyper about Arsenal. I want to ignore it. Reality is our club is 700 million spent, nothing to show for it. But sorry, I don't mean to cut you off, Wanderers. We don't cut you off.
I'm gonna say it's Colonel, but it's okay.
Yeah. No. I usually in actual typing in chats, I just call him Colonel because that's what I know him as. But we do have a third man. The Tom World Order has been completed. It's not a real thing. It's not a real
thing. This group chat that Colonel was invited to, was it a Twitter account or a WhatsApp group? I'm just curious.
I'm pretty sure it's a WhatsApp group.
Because if it's the Twitter account, I used to be in that one and I got kicked out and I never came back. It's okay.
We talk about women's football too much. You know what? I left that twice, mainly for similar reasons to that, but also because it always coincided with Leeds United not doing well. And I was just like, I've got to stop bocking myself, as in, but at the same time, I did hit, I will let you in, mate. Don't worry. It's going to be worth it, I promise. But I was sitting there, and I was like, no, I'm not going to leave a third time that Ryan puts me back in. I'm like, no, I'm actually going to just punish everyone for Ryan's decision to put me back in. This is now a Leeds United news chat.
I don't mind the group chat. I don't pay. I left one. Okay.
Are you ready for the grand reveal?
Yeah, let's do it. I'm not going to ramble about WhatsApp and Twitter groups. We'll lose followers that way.
It is. Hello. It's the host of The Apprentice.
Hi, Tom. Hi, Spencer. Thank you so much. This is just absolutely incredible. This is just the best. This is the best. The best. Ivanka,
how's Jared doing?
Ivanka, she invited me, and Jared invited me, and it's just a pleasure to be here with you.
He is having none of this.
It's a pleasure to be here with you all. Oh, look, there's a new guest there. He looks like someone who's
just a new guest.
That's one of my voters right there. It's Gary. Is my favorite voter. I love him. He's the best. He's just the best. Ivanka told me all about him. He's from Tennessee. We love him. Gary, tell us what kind of sauce do you like on your ribs, Gary?
Just when I think things couldn't get worse, it got worse.
I tell you what, this is just the best. I went to McDonald's the other day.
The Apprentice.
Tom, I love you. Thank you for inviting me on. You're my favorite voter in the UK. I was at McDonald's the other day. The chicken McNuggets were not good. I think Gary was cooking them. I think he was the line cook on the McNuggets, and they were just terrible. Ivanka, she told me not to go, but I went. Stephen Miller actually told me to go, but I didn't want to go. But it's anyway. So how is everybody doing? How are all my voters doing? I know you're all voting for me. I just want to thank you very much. It's just the best.
I definitely am. 100% am, Don.
I'm just gonna say, shouldn't you be hanging out in a swing state right now, not DWTT? I'm just saying.
Well, I had a few minutes available in my very, very tight schedule. I was actually eating a Haitian cat, and it wasn't that great. And it was much better than the McNuggets I had in Tennessee with Gary. He's just the best. Gary's the best. Look at him. Look at that smile. He's just a beautiful man from Tennessee. My best, biggest voter from Tennessee. Jared told me all about you. Stephen Miller told me. Steve Bannon's out of prison now. Steve Bannon's my favorite. He's just great. Thank you so much for being here, everybody. It's just the best. Just the best. You know, I am the president of the universe now. I'm just going to declare that just straight out of the bat. Yeah. So yeah, I'll let you guys talk for a couple of minutes. So yeah.
Don, a quick question before we bring in Gary.
No.
How do you rate your first tenure as president?
What part of no don't you get? No, seriously, no.
Go ahead, Gary.
I you know, for all those who think, no, I hate this. Let's just say that I hate it. But we'll get over it. Enjoy. Continue on.
How you doing, Gary? Outside of the last 2 minutes.
I hate you.
Of course you do. I mean, that fills me with joy.
All right. Yeah. No, I'm feeling all right. I guess when we're done with this idiot in the bottom left here, we'll talk about football.
All right, Gary just called me an idiot. That's Gary. I told you the McNuggets were not good, but here you are taking revenge. You are a despicable human being. Sorry. Actually, you're going to vote for me. Sorry, you're the best. Gary, you're the best. I love you, Gary. You're the best. Jared told me all about you. Told me about your polka dot boxer shorts that you like to wear every day. And hang on 1 second. I got Stephen Miller here. He's just going to give me. What is that? Is that that's another Haitian cat. Yeah, it's nicely fried. Got it great here. Gonna put some sauce on it. I think I'm gonna put some Jack Daniel's barbecue sauce on that cat, and it's gonna fry up nicely. It's a pleasure to be here with all of you. Have you guys seen any garbage trucks lately?
I have seen your campaign, sir.
I was driving a garbage truck. It was just the best. It was the best, absolute best. Jared was with me. Stephen Miller was behind us in the garbage compartment, and he was just screaming all the time, but we didn't let him back in. He wanted to sit in the front seat with Jared, but no, you can only seat 2 people up front there. But I tell you what, we were down there in Mississippi, just emptying all the garbage, and there were some Haitian dogs in the way. And we just scoop them up and we save them for later. It's great. It's just the best. Mississippi's the best. It's not just all armadillo eating rednecks. It's actually good people down there. And it's absolutely great. It's a pleasure to be here with you guys. Hannibal Lecter was not available. I tried to get him on with me. He's busy. But Steve
I'll
Miller.
I'll take Hannibal.
For balance purposes, because you know me, I always try to be fair. I have tried to get Kamala on the show.
Kamala, no, Kamala, she's terrible. She's lousy. We don't like Kamala. We're all.
No, you got me all wrong, sir. I'll try to get on the 1992 WWF wrestler Kamala.
Yeah, I was hoping that's what you said next, because you're kind of you almost got kicked off the show if you let that one go the wrong way.
Wow, wrestling! What a great sport!
Yeah, I'm talking to you, man.
The sport of men and
the main reason I couldn't do that is because it turns out that Kamala's been dead since 2020, so that's probably why I couldn't get. That's probably why he wasn't returning my emails. But in all seriousness, rest in peace, sir. But it is time for.
He sounds like a loser. Is he a loser? I don't like losers.
It's time for one of my favourite segments of the week: the Ross Morgan, Rod Simmons fact of the week. It's a real thing. It's a real fact. Donald, did you know that Ron Simmons was an All-American at Florida State?
Actually, I did not know that. That is just incredible information. It's absolutely incredible. It's the best information I've ever seen. It's just the best. Russ, I've heard about this Russ guy. I've heard he is the campaign manager for me in Slough, just outside of London. I heard he has a dogging sort of obsession, but I hope the dogging session doesn't involve Haitian pets. We don't want them involved. But yeah, Russ is just the best. He's the best. Ivanka told me all about him. So did Jared. Look,
goal
I'm
in the Premier League. Goal to Brighton. Goal to Brighton.
Huh? What'd you say, Tom?
Goal to Brighton, sir. Goal to Brighton.
Oh yes, Brighton are leading against this team, and they're in red. Yeah, we don't watch sports. It's all losers. But yeah, so Tom, tell me, how was your recent trip to the buffet? I love buffets. McNuggets are the best.
I've heard you've been to a few, Don.
I love a good buffet. They're absolutely incredible. They're just the best. I was at this buffet in Nebraska the other day. The food was it wasn't the best food I've ever had. They told me afterwards it was a Haitian kangaroo, and it just didn't. It was just not good. It was not good. But that's probably because, Kamala, I think she was poisoning it somehow. But I tell you what, I just want to say it's a pleasure to be here on the road trip. I've heard about this legendary show. It's just the best, the best. Ivanka told me all about it. Jared too. Stephen Miller, he waxed his head for me and then told me all about it while he was on the phone with Hannibal Lecter. So what is going on in Spencer? I believe you're in Virginia. How's Virginia looking right now, Spencer?
Well, it's a sunny 65 degrees on a Saturday. We're getting ready to talk some football. Yeah. That's all that's going on here.
Right. How's the mining going?
Well, we're making a lot of clean coal. And we're
is it the best coal, Spencer?
Clean coal.
It's the best coal ever.
That's actually oxymoron.
That's what they used to say back in the day. We're trying to make clean coal.
Did you hear Gary called you a moron? Don't listen to Gary. He makes.
I didn't say it. That was something
I didn't call him. I didn't call him. I called you a moron.
Me.
Yes,
I invented hamburgers. How can I be a moron?
You're an idiot. Yeah.
I'm not an idiot. I am the president of the universe, Gary. I can do things to you that you could not dream or comprehend.
I'm speechless. I'm just waiting for you to leave.
I got a genuine, serious question, right? Okay. In the Apprentice episode,
you're gonna try to be proper here. What is that? Wait a second. Now, so you're gonna be proper? For years, I've been asking you to be proper, and you give me crap.
Tom is a massive Apprentice fan. He's a massive Apprentice fan.
Of course, Tom's a fan. Of course, he's a fan. I'm the best. My show is the best. At the highest rating.
Why did you choose in season 1 of The Apprentice? Why the hell did you pick Bill to win over Kwame?
Well, Bill was just the best. The Bill was the best, Tom. You know this. He was just the best. Ivanka told me to pick him, so I had to pick him. And Kwame was not quite what we were looking for at the time. He was a good guy. But I tell you what, Bill was just the best. Stephen Miller told me all about him. He likes McNuggets, and he's gonna vote. He's gonna vote for me in Oregon. In Oregon, he's gonna vote for me.
Right. Well, so I'm getting some feedback that I think it's time for you to take a hike, Mr. Trump, sir.
Oh, okay. Well, I want everybody here to vote for me. Because I'm just the best, and I'm running for president of the universe.
Why and how?
Don't vote for Kamala. Vote for me. I'm the best. Chicken and nuggets are the best. Don't go looking for Kamala. Look for me. I'm the best.
One more question from an audience member.
No.
Are you planning to buy Monday Night Raw for the second time?
No, it's just a bunch of losers. We don't like the losers. They're all losers. They lose a lot. They lose the most in the history of losing. And it's just not good. So no, I only do good things. I only do great things. I invented the hamburger. I invented the cheese slicer. And I also invented the chainsaw. And
I
they're
heard
great.
you invented George Foreman grill.
I did. That's true, Tom. I did. I just put George Foreman's name on it because he's a good guy. He comes to all my barbecues. He loves me. He loves Stephen Miller. He loves Steve Bannon. And it's just a pleasure to have him with us every time he comes barbecuing. And I just want to thank everybody for voting for me, president of the universe. And I'm going to go now because Gary, he's a good McNugget chef, and I want to make sure I'm getting my McNuggets. And I'm going to go now. The helicopter is landing outside. I have to go to, I'm going to Georgia to talk to Marjorie Taylor Greene. She says the Jewish space lasers are not working at the moment. So I have to go and fix the Jewish space lasers. And they're going to be the best lasers ever in the history of Jewish space lasers. The hurricanes are currently not working at the moment. I have to get the hurricanes back working again. And then we're going to go get some McNuggets. Yeah, Spencer, you're going to say
hurricane season ends November 1st. It's November 2nd.
Yes. And,
why'd you kill the USFL? Why'd you kill the USFL?
Don,
it was
can
losers.
you give us one last Make Arsenal Great Again, please?
Make Arsenal great again. I can do that for you, BX Gunner 81. I can do
Leeds
that.
United hit the post. Hit the post. Leeds United hit the post.
Oh my God, Leeds United hit the post. I'm gonna have to inform Hannibal Lecter. I know he's dying for that information. But anyway, I want to thank everybody. I want to thank McDonald's. I want to thank Hannibal Lecter. I want to thank Stephen Miller. I want to thank the KY Gel Company. Thank you, everybody, for your time. And I want everybody to have a great Saturday. Gary, look at me. Look at me, Gary. Look at me, Gary.
No.
Gary, I love you. You're awesome. You're such a great guy.
I hate you.
Really? Is that where we are now in our relationship,
yes.
Gary?
I'm not even holding back.
I've seen your boxer shorts, Gary. I've seen your boxer shorts. And I'll tell you, you need new boxer shorts, Gary. They're crusty, Gary. But anyway.
Go away.
Thank you very much, everybody. Gary, I love you. Tom, I love you. Spencer,
I
you're
hate
the
you.
best. Spencer's just the best. I love him. And have a great weekend, everybody. Okay, thank you. Goodbye. Thank you. Vote for me now. Go vote.
Colonel Ward's a fan of this, let's be fair. So after all that, right?
No.
Bournemouth have scored. Bournemouth have scored.
No more from you.
Bournemouth are winning 1-0.
I'm blaming you for my pain.
What did I do?
Because you're laughing on it and you're stomping on my grave. You're doing all Look at you, you're smiling, laughing.
Yeah, not one part of this is inaccurate. Like, there's not one lie being told by Gary here. Obviously, let's be fair. This is quite clearly my last episode hosting the road trip.
You know what it is. I've changed the road trip was one thing. You guys have said screw that. We're going train crash. We're not even like no, forget about it. It's just a train crash, and there is this boom. Basically, that's where we've gone. Ay.
Oh, it's incredible.
Yeah, I did have better things to do, Russ. And you know what? They got me. They got me. The big surprise, terrible surprise. Yeah.
Oh, it's incredible. Goal update. In the FA Cup first round, Tranmere Rovers won. Sorry, I've got that wrong. Tranmere Rovers won. Oldham Athletic 0. Can we get the Arsenal versus Tranmere match we all want?
That would be crazy.
It'd be great. Especially play it at Tranmere, of course, to keep it sporting. But they might want to change the stadium. as is
You're
their
so
right.
funny. You're so funny.
I have my moments. Oh my god!
Oh my gosh, this thing is changing. His faces keep changing.
Say his name, and he appears. I believe in Joe Hendry.
I don't know what this
Anyway.
is. Is that somebody?
Yeah.
I'm not going to want to research.
I'll put
That
it
was
this way:
fun.
if you Google him, you will not find anything unsavory.
Yeah,
for once.
it's
You
very.
know what? I'm going to say this while we can. I know it's a jinx, but so far the 3 goal alerts that I've gotten on here have been like, okay,
Positive.
I'll take it, but I know it won't last. So, you know. So, did you start off with a bang, or did you actually talk about football?
Well, we talked about it in the back room, and I was like, I was gonna talk about it as little as possible, to be fair. But if you want to talk about it, we can talk about it. I was gonna just do like the Red Zone channel, like we do, and talk about the games that are live, because I already knew Monday was coming, and I can't talk about it twice. So,
there's instant reaction, and then there's let me like
think
settle
about
it for me, anyways, because there's a lot. There's probably more than enough. Well, there are some positives, but the negatives overwhelm them right now. So
I just don't have enough creativity for it. Oh, kind of like Arsenal.
Well, there you go. Well, once again, I thought that midfield, or at least having Moreno and Rice and either Trossard or Havertz, depending on how you look at it, for me to start things off. Once that it didn't work the first time, and it didn't work this time either. So I don't know what he needs to do, but something different has to change. Like those 3 work, and like we only had like it was 8 shots with like 10 minutes to go in this game that we had taken. We only had 1 shot on target. Like something, and that's our Arteta basically looking at the first half going, let's not change anything. Like, come on. You're on the road. You gave up a goal, which once again I feel like our defense has these lapses in every game. We're going to give up a goal every game. We open ourselves up every game. Some teams hit it, some teams don't. Like Villa didn't hit theirs. Newcastle hit their 1 chance. I mean, did they get much after that? That you go, they threatened us? I don't feel like it. Not like that, anyways. So it just, we kind of like, we have to score 2 goals at least because we're not defensively good enough to hold a team to a clean sheet right now. And that might be because of the players coming and going, but it just seemed like that just was too easy. Gordon is able to make that cross with space with Timber on him, and then our 2 center backs get split. Like that shouldn't happen, right?
I think the big problem is there's, and I'm gonna say this. I think Inwari needs to start. I mean, you have no creativity in the midfield. And the big thing I noticed today is it's like we're trying to walk the ball in the goal. Like they're just gonna let you walk into it from 2 yards out. Take a shot from the top of the key. I mean, I know this isn't basketball, but you know what I'm saying. Like take a shot from the 18. Maybe
you have
there's
to open up. You have to open up the defense a little bit, and all like you said.
Holy shit!
We are asking them to open up their goal to us.
Yeah.
No team does that in the Premier League. You have to go and take it. And every time Martinelli makes a run, he just dies, and like the threat is gone. And he puts a cross in, or he pushes the ball back, and there's nobody there ready to take the shot. Saka gets there. Nobody's ready to attack the back line, get into spaces or anything. It's like we're too busy worrying about, well, what happens if we give up a goal? Guess what? You're on the attack. What happens if you score? Sam is on the phone. I don't know if that means you can't get on here.
So I was able to see at least the first half of the Liverpool game. I didn't get to watch the second half yet. And everything seemed to work pretty well in the first half of that game. But, I mean, I'm more disappointed about Bournemouth. I'm more disappointed about Brighton. I kind of was really I'm not saying we expected to win at Newcastle, but I expected it, maybe a draw because it's just the time of the game and everything. But to have like 0.0 XG and then you watch it and it's just like I hate to say this because I'm not one of the Arteta out crowd, but
Daniel Leeds won Plymouth for nil.
Yeah, Daniel
Right,
James.
I was so excited I couldn't even get it out as a sentence.
Have you seen the goal yet? Wait till you see the goal.
I bet it was a comedy of errors from Plymouth.
No, it was like a volley from like 25 yards out.
Of course it was, because Daniel James is my boy.
Yeah. But yeah, that happened minutes ago.
Is he non-American? Is that what it is?
Sorry, sir?
Is he non-American? Is that what it is?
That's exactly what it is. Because I'm prejudiced against all American Leeds players. That's not true, actually. I was fond of Tyler Adams. Everyone knew that.
True.
He was good. Well, dare I say it? No, in all truth, in my opinion, if Tyler Adams had not been injured in the March of that season, we would have survived. Because we were a lot better functioning unit with him in defensive midfield than without him in defensive midfield.
2-0 Leeds.
Oh, that's terrible. I hate that. That's terrible.
Pyro, whatever his name is.
Piru?
Yeah. He might be offside, but no, it's a good goal. 2-0, 32nd minute.
What I will say, Plymouth, to be fair to them, they knew what was likely to happen because they've turned up with a back five. They started the match with 5 defenders.
There you go, and guess what? It doesn't matter. See, that's my thing is teams don't even give us that respect because our attack isn't threatening. Yeah, was it? You know what? I don't know. I can't say Saka did much wrong. I think, I can't feel like Saka did that much wrong in the game. He's got no help.
There were levels to this.
There are levels, and you know what? Putting the ball in the net.
We are not bad at this particular level.
So what I was going to say before Leeds scored, Gary, is I want to see the body language of the players going forward. If it starts turning even more negative, there becomes a question of whether he's lost everybody. And you know what I'm talking about.
His tactics, at least the way that the players play based on whatever he's telling them to do, doesn't look like they're trying to score. What are they trying to do? You know what I mean? Where's the intent? Where's the forwardness in the way that we move? Everything is like, well, you know what? We're gonna have to try to break down a team moving the ball at like 5 miles per hour. It's not gonna work. It's not gonna work.
When you don't have a creative midfielder out there, this is what happens. You have to have an answer for that, and it can't be since we don't have a middle. Where's your answer? Ethan Warrior's
he won't play him enough because he needs to play.
He's going to have to. Because here's the thing. If you can bring him on when you're down 1-0, you can start him. I mean, that to me, you can. I mean, I'll argue that to the cows come home. That if he can come on when you're in dire straits, he should be able to start the game when all things are equal.
I mean, you saw what he did when he got the turn on the ball, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, when did anybody in the whole game get look like that when they got on the ball and got just enough space to be able to turn on it and put a foot through it, right? He does that. Every game he shows you something, like, give him the minutes that he needs to get comfortable in the game. Like, he needed 45 minutes today, and he didn't get it. He got, 15, I think it was?
He should have got 60.
20 minutes. Yeah. Yeah, no, I kind of felt like Arteta's just waiting for Erdegaard to come back, and it's like he's not going to come back till December at the earliest, like back to form. I mean, even if you bring him in as soon as he's ready, he's not. I feel he's been out of the game for a bit. You know, people are going to come at him, and you know what? He's gonna freeze. He's gonna hesitate. Wondrous gamer, I don't like you either right now. What is everybody? They're just trying to give me pain right now.
They're trying to roll you up, sir.
Trying to make you happy, Gary.
That's not going to make me.
Big Gunner's going for it too. The manager hasn't got the balls to play the X Factor. Maybe it's because he can't sing.
Well, the way that we play today, there's no reason why Ethan couldn't play today, because we weren't playing like in any kind of like, well, we're scared of their midfield. Their midfield didn't do anything. Where people are like, if you play Nweri in a midfield in the Premier League, he's gonna have, it's going to be so overwhelming for him. I don't think so. What part of today did you look at and go, that midfield is killing us? And if you put in a young 17-year-old, he's going to have a bad day. Nothing about that I saw today. Nothing I saw. So,
Brownie's come out swinging today with, is this another Arsenal channel who refuses to give Newcastle any credit? They are no mugs.
I answered Brownie with the simple response: is water wet? Because I mean, who's gonna what football channel is? If you've been watching YouTube long enough, Brownie, who the hell is going to give the other team credit? That just doesn't happen.
No, I said that. I said we gave them we gave them space and time, and we got killed by it.
Yep.
Brownie, chill, dude. We yes, it is an Arsenal channel, so we're going to talk about how poor our team was. But
Chris Wood has scored.
Newcastle did exactly what they needed to do. Right? They got a lead, and we weren't threatening them at all. Nothing about the way we were playing was going to threaten us. I mean, Joel Linton does what he does. We know he's going to put us on the ground, and for some reason he can't get a yellow to save his life. Jorginho comes in the game, 1 foul, 1 yellow. We knew that coming in. We didn't play with that knowledge at all. So basically, the past, we didn't use it to play in the future. Yeah. Everybody said it's probably going to be a draw. Not always going to be a draw if you don't give up a goal or you score, and we definitely couldn't score. So we need to play better defense. And if you look at the game, Newcastle got that one opportunity. I don't feel like
3-0
another one like that.
3-0.
At least is running away with it.
Aronson scored.
Just 1 second. I'm getting messages from people. I'm getting messages talking about Daniel James's goal. So I'm just going to take 20 seconds to watch it, and I will return.
That's
fair. Right. Yeah. Do we want to say? Okay, here we go. They said the better team won. All right. Did we not play poor today, or can we not say that because we're Arsenal fans?
We played poor today. I think if you're going to be fair about this, Gary, the better team that was prepared won today. The team that wanted it more won today. Yeah. That's the accurate assessment.
And what did I say? We basically gave them an opening. They took it, and they never looked back. We never responded to that. Not enough to get the goal.
No, we're agreeing with that. I think Brownie wants us to do 90 minutes of Newcastle's great.
Yeah, no. That would be silly. He doesn't understand football then because he
fucking hell.
Watch the game.
Yeah, that goal was spicy. Game, right? Fucking hell, Brendan Aronson scored.
I just said that.
Yeah, I know, but I didn't want to acknowledge it because I don't respect it.
No. That is your best player. Is your favorite player.
He is not our best player. Sorry. That's racism. That's racism. How dare you put his name on Willie Nonto?
You were not listening to the words that came out of my mouth. He is your best player, your favorite player. Now pull out his shirt. I know you got it. Go on, pull it out. We want to see it. The Brandon Aronson shirt. I know you got it. That's what he's going to bed with. Go on, put it on. Show it off.
Those are quite the claims, sir. Those are quite the controversial claims, sir.
I know you love him. I know you love him. You just don't want to show it because you know what? Then that wouldn't show your Englishness. That's what it is. You're like, oh, I'm English to the core. In reality, the man.
When have I ever said that? When have I ever said that?
Every time I look at you, it says it right there on your forehead. I see it right now. It's like it's just every time she's going by.
A big forehead. It's because my hair's gone back to 1972. My hairline, sorry. But no, in all seriousness, I was very worried in the 29th minute because we hadn't scored. I'm slightly less worried because it's now the 40th minute and we've scored 3 times. So
there you go.
Fair enough. To be fair, no, in all fairness, Plymouth were 3-0 down last week and drew 3-3. So do not let them in. I'm just putting this out now.
Well, to me, this is where, once again, the only way that doesn't happen is if you continue to put pressure. You continue to put pressure on them to where they're scared you're going to get the 4th goal, as opposed to these guys don't want the 4th goal. So why don't we just go ahead and get the 4th goal of the game? You know what I mean? So
according to the live score, right? So it's not official. Like we do it through Google usually. Plymouth, no shots on target, no shots off target, no block shots. I think it's fair to say that Leeds have had this first half.
If you led with no shots, then basically everything after that basically is a given.
I would say that the people that
just
bought
saying.
tickets on the
I'm just
other
saying.
half of the field are getting screwed over right now because they're not seeing any action.
Yeah, but to be fair,
I'm watching it.
in the second half, they will probably see more of the ball.
So they should get
unless Plymouth
money.
come back into it. Yeah, you know, there's a Welsh football fan on YouTube. He's known to a lot of Leeds fans called That Cardiff City Fan, and basically he was doing a non-league Welsh game last week. It was actually yesterday. Tell lie, and one team was 4-0 up at half time, and then the other team came back in the second half to make it 4-4. And I couldn't help but sit and think, if you were at that end of the pitch, which got no goals, compared to the end of the pitch that got 8, I'd feel robbed. But it's what it is. Good game. We've got more Brownies come out fighting again, as I'd expect nothing less. How many Newcastle players were getting at Arsenal starting line?
You know what?
Minimum 4 or 5 players.
Let's not even acknowledge Brownie anymore.
I acknowledged it already. Our answer's in the chat.
I want to acknowledge some more of them.
There are a decent number of players on their team that we would take, for sure. Will they start? It all depends on Arteta, right? Like Isak should start, but Arteta might feel like, you know what, he needs a little bit more games before he can get acclimated to the Premier League under an Arsenal shirt. You know what I mean? That's kind of how I feel that would go. Bruno Grimmage, oh man, I think he might be a little bit too aggressive for the way we want to play in the midfield. You know, today we kept him quiet. I don't feel like he did much. He was on the ground more than he put players on the ground today. You know what I mean? So however, you know, he can play within the confines of. I don't have to put elbows to heads. So they played once again. They played well. They played perfectly. They played the way they needed to, and we did not put enough on them to make them have to come out of their shell. They didn't have to do anything different. It kind of made it really easy for them. Yep.
Getting a bit nervous. It's been 5 minutes and Leeds haven't scored. Sorry.
Oh boy.
Sorry, what?
You're right. And you know, are you putting pressure on them? Are you guys looking to score, or are you actually rolling over?
Personally, like I was saying this earlier to Spencer, I would like Leeds to win 7-0 and Rooney to get sacked. And I never call for a manager to get sacked, but he is a very wealthy man, and I think he can stomach not having to live in Plymouth anymore. I think it might actually do him a favour. But
you don't think he's enjoying Devon?
It depends on whether he's been banned from the old folks' home or not.
See, even the person in Gary's background thought that was funny.
Yeah.
I did not think it was funny at all. I didn't even acknowledge it.
Gary trying to sandbag my comedy. Imagine my shock.
You know what? I don't like you, remember? Why are you laughing? I'm trying to tell the truth, man. I don't even know. Who let you on this show? Somebody must really hate me. They let you on this show.
Yeah.
You showed up for this punishment today, Gary. You showed up. You were like, I'm here.
You know what? You know, I thought these guys were going to be nice. Like, you know, we put the management put out a letter. I don't know if you saw it. Said be nice this weekend, and guess what? Somebody dropped the ball. The letter never made it. Where is the fourth member of the show?
I would just argue that the other
I think you
guest we had earlier today misread the room, considering 75% of the audience are in the UK. So it probably wasn't a smart play 2 days before the election, but whatever. So
I personally, I think the audience loved it.
As I said, a road trip, that is like, and it turned into a train crash. I mean, that's kind of where we've gone.
We just happened to stop off at a McDonald's on the way, and he happened to see. There you go.
Yeah, it wasn't open. For some reason, it was shut, but they opened it up for us, right?
Hey, I'm not an expert, but I personally think your audience loved the show.
I think they did too.
They love everything that makes pain. It gives me pain. So, yeah.
But to be fair, Gary, you sell it, so it's funny.
I'm not selling it. I'm really. I wish I was like. I'm not like acting. I do feel uncomfortable. It's like some guy walking in with like tidy whities on. That's gonna make me uncomfortable, right? So there you go.
I mean, yeah, anybody walking in with just whitey tighties on would make anybody feel uncomfortable, even women.
Well, there you go. That's what I feel sometimes. Did something happen in the Bournemouth game at halftime? I got an alert, but I don't see a score. Looks like it must be halftime. I'm getting a lot of alerts here, but no scores.
Yeah, Bournemouth, Man City, halftime, 1-0 to Bournemouth.
Okay. Yeah, you know what? Until it's like the 130th minute of the match, it's not over. So
they'll get a spicy 11 minutes of extra time.
Yeah. I do keep an eye on the Ipswich Leicester game for one main reason. Is that the only way I can truly know what the score is if I keep an eye on it. Because I know I'm only going to get a score if Ipswich score. If Leicester score, Stefan will be mysteriously silent.
That is true, but you should utilize your audience to give you updates on stuff like that.
Yeah, but the trustworthy ones.
Yeah. Well, you know, like you said,
tell you regardless.
You're not going to get an equal opportunity report from Stefan. So
no, but I want one. But maybe naive of me to expect that. But still, but no, you know. All I will say is, if I was in a chat and a team scored past Leeds, I'd go, fuck, we've conceded a goal. But it would be a report showing what happened. But other than that, in all seriousness, so it's nearly half times are coming through. So the half-time scores in the Premier League are Bournemouth 1, Manchester City 0, Ipswich Town Leicester 0, Leicester City 0, Liverpool 0, Brighton Hove Albion 1, Nottingham Forest 1, West Ham United 0, and Southampton 0, Everton 0 in a score that will shock absolutely no one. In the Northumberland Disabled League, earlier in the day, Blackburn Rovers.
We already answered that question earlier in the show.
Oxford 1, Swansea 2, Stoke City 2, Derby County 1. Those are full times. Cardiff 0, Norwich 0, half time, as Brownie did say, to be fair to him. Hull City 1, Portsmouth 0, Leeds United 3, Plymouth Argyle 0, Middlesbrough 0, Coventry City 1, Preston North End 0, Bristol City 1. So obviously you've beat the stuffing out of them. You've basically beat the talent out of them. Queen's Park Rangers 0, Sunderland 0, Sheffield Wednesday 1, Watford 1, and in the FA Cup first round, Transmere Rovers 1, Oldham Athletic 1. Binary result. Just saying. So, Gary, in all seriousness, who have Arsenal got in midweek out of interest? Is it Champions League back?
Yeah, they're playing. Is it Inter? Right?
That's a big game.
So it'll be a tough game on the road, I believe. So I think we have 4 straight road matches. So starting off with a loss isn't a good thing. But I guess the one thing about the way we play defensively, we're decent enough. But the offense is the thing that's holding us back a little bit. So I don't know. See if we open up that a little bit. I don't know. We're on the road. We should take a rest. I'd rather go out there and try to win than to try to hold on to a draw. So
I mean, your Champions League form has been quite good, so you're almost certainly going to make it to the what would you call it? At least the playoff stage. But you'll probably get through.
7 points gets us into the playoffs, I believe, on the kind of the trend that we're on. But it's go out there and do something better. Offensively, we need to find it. We need to try something different.
The San Siro is waiting to devour us. That stadium's falling apart. It's so old.
Well, you know, every time we go play, everybody says this stadium's going to devour us, and so far we've been up for the challenge. So I kind of feel like nobody's typically running away from us in games. Bournemouth game, not standing, but we don't seem to be overwhelmed by where we're going. So I expect the same again. It will be crazy and loud like usual. I think we're prepared for it. So.
What podcast are you ready to do now? Out of interest. Anyway, Inter will be a wake-up call or either be a wake-up call or tragic experience.
Sure. Well, so it depends on how we come out to play.
It really depends.
It would not shock me. It would not shock me, Gary, if by November 11th we've beaten Inter and we've beaten Chelsea, and we're sitting here going, "What happened?" It just wouldn't.
Well,
shock
that's the thing. Because you know what? It's for me. It's more of a mentality change than it is like, do we not have the players? Like the way we come out to play. You know, we come out to play, and I don't feel like we're feeling like we have a chance to win this thing. We might. It's almost like we're hopeful that it'll happen, as opposed to, you know what? Go out there and get the win. All right, let's go out there and get the win. I kind of feel like we're waiting for the other teams to make a mistake, as opposed to
this team is crying to have Odegaard back, though. Crying for it.
Yeah, but you know what? You can't depend on a player like that. We're too deep now to say, you know what? If Odegaard's out, we can't play football anymore. We have, like, that's why you have to have a different approach when your players are missing. Like, you don't see. I feel like you don't see City play the same way with or without KDB, right? There's certain things you can do with KDB that you can't without him. So you adjust, right?
Well, they're also fortunate to have Holland there banging in goals left and right.
No, but it works differently. Like, look at how much he's scoring now. Not as much, right? It just kind of went. And eventually things drain. You have to switch things around. And guess what? Somebody else has to stand up, right? And defensively, the defenders have stood up and said, you know what? If the offense is not doing it for us, maybe we'll have a go at it, right? And then they score. Like, what defender today actually took a shot? Not like a header, but a shot. None.
To answer your question, Colonel, there are no South African Premier League matches today. Their last game was on Thursday, on Halloween. Stellenbosch beat Galliant 1-0. And I have no idea who is who in that or what means what, whatever. But I thought I'd answer your question. San Siro, I remember, it was rebuilt for the 1990 World Cup. That is true. Spell check is killing you. But then to compensate for that, he's then got a bit fancy with his fancy Odegaard.
It's a good rebound. Very good rebound.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Clutch.
Oh, you know what?
Clutch.
It's just, to me,
Odegaard coming back isn't gonna, like, for me, just change everybody else on the pitch. I don't believe the way we're playing, just all of a sudden, boom. And if it does, then that's not good either. Right?
I just think it gives you a different type of midfielder out there. A guy with a different skill set. It doesn't
when he has a bad
guarantee
game,
it's going to
what
fix
happens?
everything. Well, you got Ethan Nowori to turn to. I mean, Arteta will tell you he'll turn to him in the 60th minute. There's that. I think there was a missed opportunity here, Gary. I think Nowori should have gotten minutes a lot earlier.
He should have gotten minutes. Whenever 3 games into the season, I said this when Odegaard went out in the Brighton game. If he's not coming in then what? Then what's going to happen? And since then, in the Premier League, nothing that I would say substantial minutes have come. He's gotten what? He's probably up to about 40 minutes now in the Premier League. 40. And that's with Odegaard being out for 2 months. What? Are you kidding me? Serious.
That's the ultimate mismanagement, in my opinion. But my other argument is, and I said this to you earlier, if he can come on when the chips are down, he should be come on when the table's all set up and everything's nice and perfect. I mean, if you can turn to someone when everything is going south, then that means when everything's normal, I can rely on you there too. So try that. Like, I even thought Zinchenko wasn't horrible today.
He was terrible for me.
Okay.
I hated him. How many times did he turn the ball over and then Gabriel and everybody else has to cover up for his mistakes? What did he offer us in the attack going forward?
I think I counted at least 2 turnovers, but needless to say.
But he's supposed to come in and be sound, and he's not.
We hadn't played either.
Brownie, you didn't hear what I said, obviously, right? I said they play differently when KDB is in and out of the lineup. It has nothing to do with the squad levels. You play the strength of the squad
He's
that you have.
defending your club.
No, but you know what? He always brings up the cheating. We know this. It's not going to make a difference. You still have to play better football. Their cheating has nothing to do with the way that we played today, the way that we played against Bournemouth, the way that we finished up against Brighton, the way that none of that. So for me, that cheating is a given. You can keep bringing it up every week. It's not going to change the fact that we're not playing the football that we would like to see.
I mean, that's the same thing, Gary. That's the same thing I've said to you before, and Tom and Tony and whoever's been on here. Arsenal winning the league has nothing to do with beating City. It has everything to taking care of business with everybody else. At the end of the day, if you drop, like a couple years ago, you dropped 5 points to Southampton. You can't win the league if you drop to 20th place, 5 points out of 6. You can't do it. And then now you drop 3 points to Bournemouth.
Yeah, we dropped points from 3 winning positions in games we should be able to finish. I mean, the City game, maybe not, but you give up a goal in the last 30 seconds of extra time, that's on you.
And we can clutch straws. We can clutch straws on the red cards and the unfair refs and all that stuff. But at the end of the day, you should still handle your business from winning positions regardless. You just should.
Yep.
Championship, you find a way to win when the chips are down regardless.
Brownlee, to answer your question, I believe the only club in Italy that actually owns its own stadium is Juventus, and that's because they built it themselves out of their own money. But you're right. Generally, European clubs don't own their own stadiums. Like in Europe, in England, it's more of a unique thing.
Who owns stadiums? And does the city? Does the city own the stadiums? Is that how that works? Do the people own the city and the stadium?
Well, if I remember rightly, Manchester City Stadium was built for the 2002 Commonwealth Games, and then they moved into it afterwards. So they didn't even pay to build it. But the City of Manchester paid to build it. And then, obviously, after an athletics event, it's just there doing nothing. So it might as well have a team similar to the London 2012 Olympics. Got this big space, and look, you see the stadiums for the Brazil World Cup in 2014.
Yeah, well, they're sitting in, and they're in, but they're all sitting. They're like sitting in jungles, and now we're just these concrete monstrosities just weathering away.
Yeah.
You know, same thing I think in Japan, right? They built all that the nest or whatever they built for the Olympics.
Yeah.
It's nothing now.
Oh, Beijing.
I mean,
yeah.
That's why I feel like these big events should just be held in the big cities, and they should have co-hosts that are these small countries that they're trying to help. And if they really want to help, just send them some cash, because that's really all they want anyways. At the end of the day, they just want the cash that comes from these events. They don't care about the event as much as people think.
Yeah.
Because when you put all that money into building the infrastructure and then you're not going to use it afterwards, like in Atlanta, right, when they had the Olympics, they took all the Olympic Village and they turned those into apartments. They can't do that in the middle of a jungle in Brazil. You know what I mean? They can't do that in a country that probably has enough housing as it is maybe in Japan, like to be able to make it worth their while to spend money on it. So, I kind of feel like I'm a waster. I won't say, but they're wasting as well. But they're wasting billions and millions of dollars, and I'm wasting, not as much. But I kind of feel like that's how I feel about all of that. But
I don't like that West Ham got a big stadium they never paid for, but ultimately it's good that it's not gone to waste, I suppose. So.
Yeah, but it doesn't help. It doesn't help, but it doesn't feel like they don't spread the wealth around, right? Because it's not just West Ham benefited, and then every other 200 and whatever 10 teams in English football did not get a benefit out of that, and they should. They all should. You know what I mean? Like, it's not just the Premier. It's not just the 18 teams in the Premier League. It's the 5 leagues of football that all are part of this thing. They all should get a piece of the pie, right? Even if it's a small piece, they should get something. Like what does the revenue that goes into West Ham, does that go back to the team, or does that go to the FA? The football, right?
Right. I'm going to read out this comment from Colonel Ward. Breaking news. A lorry carrying tens of thousands of wigs has crashed on the M8 motorway. I guess police will be combing through that area for a while.
That's just really ridiculous.
Just saying. Stadiums which are owned by local governments in Europe are also home to many small businesses during a normal day because they can rent off office space. There you go.
And then for me, it comes back to, like for them, like the coaching and the mental capacity of the players that play for them that overcomes all these other things that we say a lot of teams say they need to have in English football, right? So for me, that's the difference as well, right? They don't have tons of money like we do. They can create these players, all right? We're not doing that in English football. We, like when Inweri is sitting there like, play him, we won't play him because what? He might fail. Like, you're failing with the players that you're supposed to be depending on. So what's the point of, like, take a rest? It might work out. They took a rest on Saka. Guess what? It worked out. They took a rest
West Ham pay a rental fee
work.
of $2 million a year, if I remember rightly.
Yeah, so it goes to the London government, but guess what that means? That means everybody else gets screwed, right? Is the London government helping you out, Mr. Tom?
Not to my knowledge. I mean, it could turn out that they are, and I'm just ignoring it. But for the point of this discussion, I get what your point is. More than anything,
they might be able to offer you more. Is kind of my thought. Maybe they are offering more than some.
I mean, I'd love them to give me a lifetime pass to Jimmy's. Obviously, that would. I would not turn that down. I just wouldn't, and my belly proves it. Anyway, what? So the football's back for the second half. Apparently, we're just starting up in the Premier League, and there's no changes to any of the scores that I can tell. So,
cool. Yeah. Now I'm going to say this. Now I know it's going to jinx it, but if the teams that we're concerned about aren't able to make a move and pull ahead of us, which I'm expecting them to, then that's a sign to Arsenal. You had your your wake up call, your little blip. The football gods aren't necessarily against you, but we shall see how the day finishes up. We still got 45 minutes of football to play, No, seriously, did I really scare off our fourth guest?
I don't know.
I figured he was going to reappear as his other alter ego, the one that doesn't give Gary hives. But other than that, yeah, I don't know if he took me booting him off seriously. I didn't actually
put in the chat that he was on the phone, so.
That means he's taking a call. He's taking a call. Maybe it'll work. So.
Yeah. Just mate. Yeah. Well, I didn't genuinely kick him off the show, and I'm sure Gary will say that he did, but deep down we know that he didn't. Anyway, question from Brownie: who was the fourth guest? Donald Trump, apparently.
You know what? You just like to say stuff that just like curls my toes.
Listen. I'll be very clear with this. I've always been very clear. I've always respected him for hosting a very successful television show. He was a great host of The Apprentice. And Celebrity Apprentice was not that bad. So he was a lot better at it than Arnie. Sorry, what's that, sir?
I never watched any of The Apprentice.
It was perfectly fine, the TV show. I would always watch The Simpsons at 6:00, and then after The Simpsons, they'd do an episode of The Apprentice. They did the whole first season in about 2 weeks. It was very good. I won't go wait a week for every episode. That's absurd. Apparently Ted DiBiase was the fourth man.
Here we go.
It's actually true. Who was 5 and 6 out of interest? Russ. Apologies. I should know he's Russ Morgan. I see him every week. I thought it may have been Dick Cheney's daughter.
You guys, I don't know where he was going with that, but if we did that to you guys in terms of bringing up some English thing, you guys would be calling us racist and stuff like that. If we went out and found like we brought up like Andrew, for example, probably would go, "Oh, why are you just going after us? for all the dirt that we have in English politics and celebrities and all of that, right? But we don't do that because we're nice people.
I don't know what was said there, but I agree with Gary. I don't know. I'm just going to agree with Gary.
I didn't fully grasp it, but at the same time, I know Gary was digging me out over something.
I was rambling and it made no sense when I listen to myself, but I was trying to say something. It didn't hit. Let's just say that.
That's all right. It's all right. You can't always bat at 1,000. It's all right.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I think .500 is a perfectly respectable batting average.
Somebody's got to pick up that drag bunt in the 6th inning to move the guy from 1st to 2nd.
Yeah, and then Spencer then brings up these analogies that nobody in the world knows what he's talking about.
That's what I'm good for, Gary. Bringing up stuff that no one knows anything about at all. It's my trait. Yeah.
Transmit
my phone's
still 1-1.
My phone's
still
about to die, so I'm gonna have to go anyways, and maybe the 4th guest will come back. But
thank you for joining us, Gary. Will you be back hosting next week?
Yes, I should be. Yes.
Monday night.
No problem.
Yeah, definitely Monday we'll be back on. We'll get to take a second look at the game. I'll probably try and.
I don't care what happens on Monday night.
Yeah.
I only live for the road trip on Saturdays.
You do. Yeah. No, it was good to come on for a little bit. It's been, like I said, I haven't really been able to do this. Been traveling a bit. Traveling now, as you can tell, sitting in the hotel room. But yeah.
But no, in all seriousness, always good for an appearance. Always good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we'll be back in full force again next week, hopefully.
Yeah.
Everybody on.
So officially, has the ban for Sam been lifted?
There was no ban on Sam. Stop that.
I just wanted it to come out of your mouth. That's all.
No. You know, you brought up something that wasn't ever there.
I did do that, but for the sake of confirmation.
There's no confirmating what. Brownie, have a good day, everybody. Spencer, have a good day. Did your team play today?
7:00 tonight. 7:30.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got the big Georgia.
How are the Miami Gators doing?
You know what? This is where you need to.
Well, Gary, I don't know who I was talking to this week, but it was running around last weekend. It was actually interesting doing a Saturday where I wasn't sitting and watching college football. It was kind of weird, but it was also kind of refreshing. But I normally take a break when Clemson doesn't play anyway, so.
So no, the Florida Georgia game, like depending on which Florida Georgia team we get, it could be an interesting game.
It could be. And I'm not just saying that to butter up on it. Florida gave Tennessee a good game.
Yeah, they should have won that one. So they're gonna have to make a surprise win in one of these next 3 games or 2 games that they play. So this is one of them. So we'll see how they do. But yeah, Mr. Tom, thank you for hosting.
No problem.
And everybody, we'll be back next week. Mr. Tom will
have a good night, sir.
Here. Spencer will be here, and hopefully Sam or one of his alter egos will be joining us.
Which is your favorite Sam alter ego? Just quickly before you go.
Let's just say the last 2 are not anywhere on the. They're not on the list. Let's just say that.
Not a fan.
Management does not acknowledge that those 2 ever existed. So yeah, I can't. It's hard to put something that never existed on a list. Let's just say that.
You're saying that Pat Tate is the best.
Yeah, the fact that I'll take Pat Tate over some of them is that's where we've gotten to. Like I'm kind of okay with Pat Tate when I shouldn't be. That's the part I get
it.
You guys told me not to even look it up, and I looked it up, and I was like, oh, okay. But then, knowing that I've known that you guys said he could get worse in my eyes, that is yuck. But yep. All right, I'll see you guys. I'm gonna
have a good night.
How I can exit out of here.
So, quick question on the college football: does the bye week system apply at college level?
Yeah, so typically there's 15 weeks in college football. All teams play 12 games usually.
So you get 3 weeks off.
Yeah, pretty much. But you can set the games up. in theory, it's so like the conference will have. So basically, they set the schedule up years in advance as far as you're out of conference. So you can mostly the schools will pick who they want to play as far as like they're 4 out of conference or 3. So they'll like, I'll give Florida, for example. Florida could call up Clemson and say, hey, we're booked till 2040. All right. That's how far this goes out. Would you like to do a home and away in 2041 and 2042? And then they'll do it. That's how it works. And then, Clemson will call up, I'll say VMI, for example, Virginia Military Institute, and say, hey, come down to Clemson. We have an open date now in 2027, third weekend of September. Here's $1 million to come down here and get your ass beat. That's how it works. And then the conferences will set up the schedule. And depending on the conference, Florida and Georgia will always play each other. Alabama and Tennessee will always play each other. Alabama, Auburn, and they'll just rotate everybody else. Especially now that they're out of the division game, where they used to have, you played everybody in your division, and then you played cross rivals once or twice. But, the bye weeks do matter. But how are your NFL picks doing? Now that we've done the Arsenal horror story, and I
actually have no idea if I won on Thursday night. I should be more.
So the Jets ended up pulling it out over the Texans.
Right, but more importantly, how many points did they pull it out by? So Friday, so they won by 9 points. No. 21-13. So
8 points.
8 points, right. So let me have a look at what I actually did. Could be. Excuse me a second.
But needless to say, yeah.
So I actually did. I did the Jets. I had the Jets minus 1.5. So yeah, so I won.
Okay.
I'm surprised because obviously I figured they would win because they was at home, and
I didn't.
Aaron Rodgers is still Aaron Rodgers, whether he's on a poor team or whatever. He's still Aaron Rodgers, and he's still going to win some games.
I would have picked the Texans to win that game, just as bad as I've watched the Jets been the last couple weeks. Let's see, I don't gamble, so there's that. But the Texans lost Stephon Diggs to a knee injury, so he's out.
It's interesting you say that because the pundits I don't trust all pick Texas, so that's mainly why I picked Aaron Rodgers more than anything. But yeah. So this week I've gone Atlanta Falcons over the Cowboys.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I've actually picked your lot at Denver, not at Denver, at Baltimore. But I've done you to cover the spread. I don't actually think you're going to win, but I don't think you get thrashed either.
I agree with that.
So basically lose by within a touchdown. I've probably got you plus 10 points, probably off the top of my head. Do excuse me, I am going to nip to the bathroom. I probably should have done this before, Gary.
I'll go to the championship scores. How about that?
Yeah, thank you very much. We'll answer some questions.
Give me 1 second. All right.
I'll put up that. Do excuse me a minute. Apologies, sir.
All right. So today, Sheffield United defeated Blackburn Rovers 2-0. Swansea City 2, Oxford United 1. Stoke 2, Derby County 1. Cardiff is losing to Norwich City 1-0. Hull City and Portsmouth are tied at 1 apiece. In the 58th minute, Leeds United are up 3-0 over Plymouth Argyle. You've got Coventry City 1, Middlesbrough 0. And then you've got Bristol City 2, Preston North End 1. And then QPR and Sunderland are tied at 0 apiece. And then you've got Watford up 2-1 over Sheffield Wednesday. All right. So let's do a little Premier League update while we're working on this. Which one? How did they win already? All right. So Brighton are up 1-0 in the 58th minute, second half. Southampton and Everton are tied 0 apiece. You've got Bournemouth up 1-0 over City. Nottingham Forest are beating West Ham 1-0. Ipswich and Leicester are tied 0-0. And, of course, the Magpies, beat Arsenal earlier today 1-0. But it's today the late game is Wolverhampton versus Crystal Palace. Let's see, 17th in the table versus 19th. That's to be a barn burner. In the standings right now, you've got City on top with 23 points, Liverpool second on 22, Arsenal on third at 18, tied with Villa, but a better goal difference. Fifth place is Chelsea with 17 points. You have Brighton sitting there with 16 points at sixth place. Seventh is Nottingham Forest on 16 points. Newcastle in eighth. Tottenham at ninth with 13 points. Brentford 10th with 13 points. Fulham and Bournemouth 12 apiece, 11th and 12th respectively. West Ham at 13th. The mighty Man United sitting at 14th place with 11 points. Leicester at 15th on 9 points. Everton 16th on 9 points. Crystal Palace 17th on 6 points. Ipswich 18th with 4 points. Wolverhampton 19th with 2 points. And Southampton Saints sitting there in 20th position on 1 point. Now let's pivot back to the championship and let's go to the table. So the top three currently are Sunderland, Sheffield United, and Burnley. Sunderland has 28 points, Sheffield United on 25, and then Burnley on 23, with Leeds United in fourth on 23 points, West Brom on 21 points, Blackburn on 19 points, and Watford on 19 points at seventh. So your playoff three, if of course the season ended today, which it doesn't, it would be Leeds playing Watford and Blackburn.
It would not. Your table does not account for the 3 o'clock kickoffs.
Oh,
but
God.
It has included Sheffield United's win.
All right. Well, then I'm wrong on that one.
Well, no. You've done nothing wrong. Just obviously your table is not a live table because in an actual live table, Leeds would be promoted. But the real reason is basically Burnley don't play yet. So,
well, I'm wrong on that.
Burnley
I'm
would
wrong
be
on that. No, the top two get promoted.
Yes, sir.
Yep. Okay. Well,
No, you were right in terms of like third will play sixth and things like that. But obviously, currently Leeds are second.
There you go.
But
your bottom three in the championship are Plymouth, QPR, and Portsmouth.
Pepsi overdose. That's exactly what happened. Ipswich 1, Leicester 0. Oh, of course. But that game will, even if it goes 1-1, we'll only know it was 1-0 because he doesn't say if Leicester scores. But in all seriousness, not over yet. Bloody LBX.
It's way too early to get them to win.
Way too early. I did predict on the stoop a win for Ipswich. And not a joke prediction. Like, I actually do think Ipswich will win this game. And the thing I said is if they don't win this game, when are they going to win?
Probably when they play Arsenal.
I mean, I know you're all upset, but come on.
I know, I'm just joking. I'm kidding. That's not going to happen.
Come on now. Where is Michael Jackson? Rubbish goal, we conceded. What I will say about Leeds being 3-0 up at the moment, and why I'm not really treating it like it's game one, is because at this point in our when we were 3-0 up against Cardiff in 2019, we didn't win the game. We ended up conceding 3 goals in 29 minutes. And I did say yesterday that Bournemouth would beat Man City.
Well, let's hope you're right.
Well, Eva Nielsen has just scored, so it's 2-0 to Bournemouth.
You're lying.
I'm not lying.
Don't worry.
I'm not lying.
45 minutes of extra time is coming.
Almost certainly right. But the way it's going, let me have a look. Like, statistically, Man City have not had a shot on target.
There's a pay-per-view today?
There is, in Saudi Arabia.
Oh, shocker.
I don't know what time it starts, to be honest, but probably soon.
Yeah, well, I was just turned on Peacock, and they've got
it's like pre-show or something.
Cody and Gunther looking at each other. They wrestle. What's on the card today? Do you know? We can talk about that if you want to.
Cody is wrestling Gunther. the latest gimmick for Saudi. They're basically like they're fighting for the Saudi Arabia Championship, which is basically like, yeah, it's a real thing. Well, I say it's a real thing. It's a real thing in the same way that the greatest Royal Rumble belt is a thing, which it's not, because it's never been defended since. Anyway, cut a long story short.
50-carat crown jewel title.
Yeah, I mean it's a thing of beauty, but you know, it's blood money clearly.
Yeah,
but and they're making, obviously, because they're getting paid loads of money by Saudi to do this show, like they do with all of them.
Mm-hmm.
It's how'd you word it? It's very important until it happens, and then they'll never speak of it again.
Yeah, I mean, you got, when that money's coming in, man, you know, you've got to, you know, sacrifice your morals and go do whatever, man. I mean, I get it. You know, ratings are everything, but so is getting all that money from.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well,
yeah.
I guess I'm going to sit there and not feel. I mean, if Bournemouth are an 8th in the table and Arsenal lost 2-0 to them, and City finds a way to lose 2-0, I mean, that, I don't know. So.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. So on the card tonight, it feels weird knowing I'm not doing a watch along of it, but I'm still going to run down the card. Gunter is wrestling Cody Rhodes for they call it the inaugural WWE Crown Jewel Champ. It's like they're not going to defend it next year. Like this belt will never be wrestled for again. So anyway. Obviously, LA Knight will wrestle Andrade versus Carmelo Hayes for the United States Championship in triple threat match. I thought that'd be very good, but I'm sure LA Knight's going to win as well. Randy Orton's going to wrestle Kevin Owens. Kevin Owens is heel now. Because, quite rightly so, he is not happy that Cody Rhodes buddied up with Roman Reigns. And he's right. Because Kevin Owens has been feuding with that family for about 5 years. Longer than that. But anyway, Liv Morgan versus Nia Jax for the SmackDown, Women's Crown Jewel Championship. Which is probably going to be won by Tiffany Stratton. Because of her briefcase. Seth Rollins is going to wrestle Bronson Reed. Jade Cargill and Bianca Belair versus the Damage Control versus the Metaphor from NXT versus Chelsea Green and Piper Niven for the Women's Championship.
Chelsea Green and Piper Niven still the champions?
Nah.
They've lost that all. Okay, my bad.
Nah, went back to Cargill. And if there was an OnlyFans for men, then I'd get my cock out for money while my morals are being flushed down the toilet. There is for men. It's called OnlyFans.
My question, and it's probably something that's easily Googleable. What time is it in Australia now?
Am I right, Brown, in thinking it's about
2
1 a.m.? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Because I believe it's like about 8 hours in front. 11 hours in front. 3:25. So obviously for your time is slightly different as well to what it usually is. Yeah. Sorry, I was going to ask you the question earlier. What are the only two parts of America where they don't observe the time change? The United States.
I was going to say Arizona is one of them.
Yeah.
And then I would imagine it's probably Hawaii.
Correct.
Okay,
Arizona and Hawaii.
Literally guessed on the Hawaii one. I know about Arizona. But,
well, you were literally correct. Wanderer's Game says, is she actually called Strap On like it's a messed up situation?
I think I'm going to do this, Tom. I think I'm going to go to work at 6 a.m. on Monday and log off at 2:30. And my boss is like, why'd you log off at 2:30? I'm abstaining from daylight savings time, sir. Just to see.
Don't recognize it.
Probably not. They'll recognize it. It's against my religion.
And also
that's
final
how I got
match.
fired.
What's the reason for Arizona? I believe it's pretty much just the location.
I don't know the
It's
reason for Arizona.
massive.
So it's been on the, not to interrupt, Tom, but as far as the
No,
U.S.
cool.
go, it's been on the ballot for a lot of states. Every state can make their own decisions on things. That's why America, in my opinion, is a great place to live, because if you don't like the state you're in, go to another one. So, but with that being said, it's been introduced to try to get rid of it. The arguments for it is,
I've got the answer.
Liverpool just scored on a volley that was actually across from Cody Gakpo. So, yeah.
I've got the actual answer in front of me of why it's not observed in.
Oh, you do? Go ahead.
The state made the decision based on the hotter temperatures and desert climate in Arizona. CBS affiliate KOLD reported when the clock spring forward, sunset is an hour later. That would keep people in the state out later during hot months. It also affects energy costs, KOLD reported. I don't know if that's actually fact, but seems like it could be.
There's probably some accuracy to that.
Yeah.
But I know the big argument against it. So like now where I'm at here, at 7 a.m. when the kids get on the school bus, it's kind of dark outside. But if you do the time change, it gets light again. So like the argument is like, well, the kids on the bus could get hit, but because we have asshole drivers. My neighborhood's full of them. I don't care.
I was brought up believing that it was done solely because of so kids wouldn't have to come home from school in the dark, which is absurd. I can't believe I believed it. I mean, I'm sure it's part of it.
I think it is now, but the original reason was to get more work out of people in the fields in the summer.
Yes.
Farms. Yeah, that was the original reason. I think, and again, the safety of the kids. I mean, okay, I get it. I agree with it, but at the same time, it just feels really weird because I used to work a job where I would go into work when it was dark and I would leave when it was dark. And I never saw the light that day. That sucked, but yeah.
Sam's here for the first time today.
Hey, Sam, we missed you.
Hello, everybody. Fucking hell, Brighton have just scored 2 goals. No, sorry, I mean Liverpool. Jesus.
That's a turnaround. Salah with the second. To answer this question, Stefan said there must be an OnlyFans for blokes at Brownie. As I said earlier, there is. It's called OnlyFans.
Yeah, anyway, I just want to say sorry I'm on late, back late. I actually did get a telephone from a good friend of mine.
Gary will never admit this, but he was kind of worried that he'd scared you off.
Who was that? Gary?
Gary, never admit this. He was like, "Is Sam not coming back?" Like, I hope Sam didn't think like I was actually kicking him off the show. I was like,
I actually got a telephone call just as I left. So yeah. Anywho, back now. So yeah, I probably missed a lot, but anyway, I'm back now.
According to Brownie, and I don't know why I say that like it's not true. It almost certainly is. Spain and France shouldn't be an hour in front of the UK. Franco wanted Spain to be on the same time of Hitler, Berlin time. France were conquered by Germany, and they never changed it back.
Well, now we know.
Look.
And Brownie talking absolute shite and drivel as always.
Oh, the French
Factory worker banned from talking on the production line filed a complaint, saying they were only allowed to whisper.
Did you get these in a fucking fortune cookie or something, or an old Christmas cracker jokes?
My fortune cookies usually give me inspirational bullshit that doesn't mean anything, but his give him world facts. You will wake up in the morning and see the sun. Could you imagine opening up a fortune cookie and you're like, oh, let's see what my fortune is. Did you know in 1932, blah, blah, blah? And you're like, that's a cookie Brownie made. That's a fortune cookie Brownie made. That would be an actual good business, a fortune cookies business that actually just put random historical facts in there in the paper.
Yeah. It almost certainly is, Stefan. Russ Morgan with "I'm the only person blacklisted from the trip." Categorically not true. Projecting. Categorically not true.
I did while I was on the phone though. I was keeping my a little bit on my eye. Sorry, a little bit on the comments, and I saw Brownie was talking shit as he normally does, and I saw him have the audacity to mention that at least was it 4 or 5 Newcastle players who get into the Arsenal first team starting 11.
Name them, Brownie. Which 5?
He said,
I know he has, but still.
Bruno, Gordon, and Tonali. The only 2 I see is Isak and Bruno. That's the only 2. And I would argue that Gordon would be a good bench player.
Yeah.
But he's not getting in over Odegaard.
I would take Isak, definitely. Yeah. I would say he gets into Arsenal's starting lineup since we don't have anyone better than him as a striker. Bruno Guimaraes, when he's at top form, I would say, he could probably get in instead of a Partey or Marino. I wouldn't say he got in ahead of Rice. I wouldn't say that. I know Rice is a bit off form at the moment, but if you compare them like when they're at their best, in my opinion, I would say, you could get Guimaraes in, but not Tonali. I don't think he's good enough. And Gordon's definitely not good enough. You've got Gordon over Saka or Martinelli. No, thank you. Gordon has a few decent performances in him. He's not like Spencer said, I could have him on the bench, but he wouldn't start. So that means what? That means two Newcastle players then, not 5.
I mean,
all right.
I'm just thinking about who else is on that team, and I'll take Nick Pope as a backup. Sure.
Gordon is far better than Martinelli. Absolutely rubbish.
Everton scored.
What's the score in the City game? I haven't seen the other scores.
2-0
Bournemouth.
Wow, they might actually lose today for once then.
They'll probably draw. I mean, let's not.
Yeah, they'll probably get 3 goals in the last 5 minutes or something.
They'll give them 45 minutes of extra time, and they'll score 6.
Yeah.
And they'll say there is no conspiracy. I'm sure.
Right. Colonel Ward has said, lorry carrying onions sheds its load over the A4 motorway. Police are advising motorists to find a hard shoulder to cry on.
That's not even funny. That's how bad that joke is. It's not even bad enough to be funny. Terrible jokes. Need to get new Christmas crackers, Colonel. New Christmas crackers. Don't go to Lidl. Don't get your Christmas crackers at Lidl.
What did Batman say to Robin before he got in the car?
Get in the fucking Batmobile, Robin.
Get in the car.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I've heard that one before.
So
I tell it at least 4 times a year. Can't help myself.
I think this is a moment where Sam, I think you should promote your new Hangouts show on Thursdays. Or
Stefan,
I'd actually forgotten all about that. Yeah, thanks for reminding me. I forgot all about that.
Put your channel link into the chat, please.
Oh yeah, I'll see if I can do that.
In fact, put it in the private chat, and I'll transfer it over because I don't think because obviously you're not an admin on this channel. I could be wrong.
Yeah, let's see if I can go and grab the.
Obviously, you can post it on my channel tomorrow at 9 p.m. on Sunday night.
I'll just link to my
because you haven't actually got a video set up.
West Ham have had a person sent off. They're down 2-0 to Forest. Look at Forest are 3rd in the league right now.
Forest are I saw those up in. Are they 3rd at the moment now?
Mm-hmm.
Bloody hell, they're having a decent start to the season.
I think, if I'm going to clutch at straws here for Arsenal in a moment, because obviously I'm an Arsenal fan, so I'm going to be diluted as possible. Whatever. If City drop 2 points today and Liverpool find a way to draw in this game, I think putting out 6 is still decent. It's not. I think if both City and Liverpool win today, I think you're looking pretty bad at that point. Down 8 or 7.
Not to upset you, but Nottingham Forest will go above Arsenal today.
Yeah.
Looks like it. Still early doors, but
it really is early doors. So obviously,
but sorry, Spence, go ahead.
No, I was going to say this Arsenal team feels like a cup-winning team this year, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think the league looks a bit spent. To be honest, I think we just don't look to be doing it in the league. But we might be able to win the Carabao Cup or the FA Cup. We might be able to do that.
I think you could get both, honestly. So my big concern, and I think I said this earlier, is like I do wonder. I want to watch the player's body language to see if he's lost them, because that's now the concern going forward. I mean, I know it's early days, and I don't believe in that Arteta out crap because it's just grifting anyway. But I want to see what the player's response is. If we have a good week and you find a way to beat Inter and you find a way to beat Chelsea before the international break, let me see how that turns out. And of course, once everybody gets back to full, I mean, last year you were full health, right? Everybody was there. Everybody, all hands on deck. You're just never going to get as good as that again. That healthy.
We were lucky to have all of our players healthy, but even now this season, I know we've been struggling with injuries, red cards, and everything. But even when we've sort of like had nearly a full team, I know we've been missing Odegaard a lot and everything. But even when we're missing like just a couple of players, like today we were only missing Odegaard and Calafiori. They were really the only two missing, and our performance was still just nowhere near good enough. I mean, we've got to be able to perform better than that without two players. And so to me, it's just, you just can't really excuse that. You really can't.
I mean, my big thing. Go ahead. Sorry, Sam. Sorry.
No, I was just, you finish off the point because I was going to go on to something else, but you finished the point.
So again, I said this to Gary, and I 100% agree with this. Ethan Nwaneri needs to be in this team. If you can bring him on when we're down 1-0 or we're down 2-0 against Bournemouth, then he's absolutely a player that can start a game when everything's perfect.
Absolutely. Arteta is too risk averse. I don't think he plays it too safe. I mean, you saw today there was no creativity in midfield. Trossard was having a really poor game, in my opinion. Trossard should have been yanked off, and Nwaneri should have been on. Nwaneri, however you pronounce his name. Nwaneri should have been on much sooner in his place. He should have actually started. Really, I thought I know it's only Preston. Midweek in the Carabao Cup, but his performance against Preston and when he came on against Bournemouth as well, I thought Nwaneri's shown he's got to be able to get into the side ahead of Trossard, but no, Arteta's just going safe as always, and it's just not really working at the moment. It really isn't. We need that spark. I think it'll be better when we get.
Bellingham's been sent off. Sorry,
who? Joe
Bellingham's been sent off for Sunderland, that's quite good for us.
All right,
so he's obviously one of their key players.
Cool.
Now, I will, for sake of Brownie, because he really wants me to read this out. Why is Spain on CET? Which I can't help but read it as CTE, and I thought, well, maybe because they land their head too hard or whatever. Anyway,
a CT scan.
Yeah. In 1940, Francisco Franco changed the time zone by changing 16th of March 1940, 11 p.m. Greenwich Mean Time to 17th of March 1940, midnight Central European Time during World War II. This was made permanent in 1942 in order to be in line with German-occupied Europe. So basically, Brownie he's made this clear three times, maybe three, I could be wrong, at least twice in this chat. I said, I'm pretty sure it is true, because I don't know why you'd make that up. And then he's got, Google it and read it out. So I did, and I have, and it's basically what you initially said. Thank you for wasting my time, sir.
Yeah, we've got a little history lesson from Brownie there. Yeah.
But no, it is true. It's true.
Yeah, as I said, we've got a history lesson from Brownie. Normally he talks absolute pish, but that one was right. So well done to Brownie.
That was right. Yeah, in all fairness, I think it's time for the Pol Pot Norwegian Facts of the Week.
Well, is it time for the Pol Pot Norwegian Facts of the Week? Are we there already?
I believe it. Sorry. The Pol Pot Norwegian Fact of the Week.
Norwegian Fact of the Week. Well, in this week's Norwegian Facts of the Week, it's all been kicking off with who's going to be the next manager for Norway, because the current international men's team manager, Ståle Solbakken, he has, as I said before, and I can't remember his last week or the week before, that he's He's going to finish, I think, in the summer. I think he's finishing. He's going to leave in the summer. So the biggest candidate is Solskjaer, that smarmy little git. He's the favourite to take over. But there are a couple of other candidates. There's the manager for Bordeaux Glimt. I can't remember his name off the top of my head now. His name is Daniel something. Bordeaux Glimt are doing really well in the league. They're a good team, doing well in the conference league as well. He's also a hot favourite to take over, but we'll see how it goes. I haven't had a chance to look at the visually impaired league, which is also known as the Women's Super League, basically the Women's Norwegian Premier League. I haven't been able to see what they're doing today, but it'll probably be crap, whatever it is anyway. So but thank you very much. That's the update for Norway this week.
Thank you very much. We've got some theories from Sam, Mr. Arsenal podcast, who goes live generally when Arsenal play and various points during the week. He says, give the job to Ole.
Yeah, he's the hot favourite. He's the hot favourite.
I did say on the chat for Mr. Arsenal podcast in the game against Newcastle today. Can't remember what the score was. I said Ole is owed an apology by a lot of people because he had that Manchester United team finish second.
Yeah, I think he did a better job than people realise. When you see what all the other managers have done, I think you can arguably say Solskjaer probably did the best job out of a lot of them at the moment. So
they've got progressively worse since.
Seemed to got lost less time than other managers too, right? I mean, unless I'm.
Yeah, he didn't get very long. I think he was only really a caretaker manager anyway, wasn't he? They got him in as a caretaker, and he didn't last very long. But what he did was definitely better than what any of the other managers have done. So I know Brownie loves Solskjaer for his time at Cardiff. I know that. I know he absolutely loves Solskjaer for that. Brownie.
What does a hot Norwegian look like?
Well, it's going to look like a Norwegian, and it's going to look pretty hot. I think that's pretty much summed up right there.
Colonel's trying to scare us all with City scored. I think he means the first goal. Ipswich are still winning. Southampton are heading for their first win as well. Fucking hell.
Bloody hell, that's got to happen sometime, isn't it?
Yeah, let me double check. Is Ben Berrett and Diaz playing? Well, he's not, which might explain why they're winning. As I say that every week. Whenever they go in front, they end up not winning. Yeah, arguably Mourinho did the best of them all because he obviously won the Europa League, I believe, which he should have done with that team. Samu's Norwegian player with the most minutes ever in the Premier League. Go fuck yourself,
so we know this one.
Go fuck yourself, Russ. He had me believing for 22 seconds that it was Eric Backer. Motherfucker.
Is Russ repeating himself? That's never happened.
Oh, imagine my shock. Calvin Phillips. Even if Ipswich go on to win this game, it will not be because of Calvin Phillips. Double second yellow. Oh, Ipswich have managed to have about 4 bookings today, 3 or 4.
Let's see what's going on.
Clean team. Dirty.
Somebody had anytime yellow card.
Well, that's just guaranteed money, isn't it?
I don't know. I was sitting there watching the Newcastle game this morning, and when Tonali came on, I got the yellow. I was like, "Yep, he had that on his bet sheet this week for him to get a yellow card." So.
Can I shock you all? Junior Firpo has not been booked yet. Not been booked.
I'll tell you what. Nottingham Forest beating West Ham 3-0, even despite, Nottingham Forest have a good start to the season. West Ham have been atrocious. And I'm thinking after this result, he's got to be close to the sack, that Lopetegui, or whatever the fuck his name is. I mean, he's got to be close to the sack. He's not doing a good job at all, is he, at West Ham?
That's a hard one.
Dirty Leeds, but we're not a dirty team and haven't been for a few years.
I don't know if he's close because they got the result versus Man United last week, right? I mean, I don't know. I mean, he's definitely the seat's warm, right? I don't think there's a denial there. The seat's very warm for him, but I don't know. I mean, they're sitting at 14th on 11 points. Now, granted, the teams 13th through 10th haven't played yet, so there's going to be some separation. But I do think the seat's warm. I don't know if they fire him, but I'm indifferent if they fire him anyway. If that makes sense.
As long as they're not in a relegation battle, they'll be happy because they're just a club. Despite the fact that their fans are very have an inflated opinion of themselves and the club, they're as an ownership, they will absolutely tolerate just being mid-table. Because historically, West Ham, outside of the last 3-4 years where they've been in Europe, they are a club that flirts with relegation like it going out of fashion. Just always have. And despite the bollocks that comes out of their mouths about how they won the World Cup and they have the Academy of Football, which is not true.
Well, like I said, with the squad West Ham have, they should be a top half team, and they're underperforming a lot, and they've got some really bad results already this season. So they don't seem to be playing well. You know, I can see them getting the sack quite soon, to be honest.
And I think it could backfire too, because you're sitting here at 14th, 5 points clear. It could backfire. I don't know. But again, Tom's right when he talks about West Ham's history and where they are. I mean, they did win a European trophy 2 years ago, the Conference League. However you feel about that, still counts.
They spent the most money out of every team in that competition. They should have won it.
Correct. But yeah, I don't know.
I don't believe
Everton have scored.
City have scored again, have they?
6 minutes of stoppage time, and I suspect it's gone 2-2. No, it's not. It's not come up here. That's 2-2. But I fully expect that 6 minutes of stoppage time to turn into 46 minutes of stoppage time. It hasn't.
Could very well do. I see that Transmere Rovers, our favourite team here, sponsored by ASAP Rocky, losing at home in the FA Cup, first round proper, losing at home 2-1.
FA Cup.
They're losing at home 2-1, so it's pretty much a non-binary result there at the moment.
Well played.
So Brownie must be happy with Cardiff now. It seems like
Brownie means Cardiff scored. He means Cardiff scored. Yeah.
So has the new manager bounce gone yet on that? With that, do you think Brownie's the new manager?
That's a great result for Cardiff. To be fair to them, despite what we will say, that is a great result considering they were rock bottom of the Championship, and this point, assuming they still get it, will take them. Well, they'll be 1 point clear of the relegation zone, considering they had no points from their first 6 games or whatever it was.
Yeah, 21st.
It was really impressive. I mean, I don't want to get too arrogant, but I think it is safe to call it that in the 91st minute of the game, Leeds United will defeat Plymouth Argyle at being 3-0 up. I think it's safe to call that as over. Leeds United have brought on Joshua Giavogi for his first appearance and the oldest Leeds appearance, the oldest debut for Leeds United at 34 years old since Pablo Hernandez at 36 against West Brom.
Number one, Tom, can you please repeat his name, please? Number one.
Yeah, it's Joshua. There's no H in it. His name's Joshua.
Yeah, and then what's his surname?
Giavogi.
Oh, okay. You didn't completely butcher it then, I don't think. Yeah.
No, that's how he says it.
All right. Okay. Do you know? Oh, okay, that's good. You know that. That's good.
I know he is.
That was number one, and number two, no one gives a shit.
So to
I
pivot
give
back,
a shit, which
Everton's
obviously supersedes all your importance. Anyway, what? Sorry.
No, Everton's goal was offside, so Southampton.
Oh, that's terrible. That's awful. I can't believe that Everton have been screwed over by the rules.
But I also saw Calvin Phillips's red card. I think it's a weak one. I think it's definitely yellow.
Let's not defend him too much.
Did you see it, Sam?
No, I haven't seen it. No, but Calvin Phillips, what a bust. What a
He
downturn that career's taken.
He should have stayed at Leeds.
Definitely.
You talk about a move where they're fucking showing the City game. Oh, never mind. What the fuck is this? Oh, Holland.
Goal. There's a goal.
Where?
I already know because I can hear on Soccer Saturday someone saying, "Goal!"
Not City. Because Holland just hit the keeper, and then it hit off the post, and now Bournemouth have the ball.
Right.
But Liverpool looks like they're going to go top of the league and stay there. They're in the 94th minute. They're now 95th.
Yeah, I've got the Liverpool game on in the background here. They're Brighton have had a few chances, but
yeah, Brighton's definitely been in it, no question. The Miami Gators are up on
Cardiff City have scored a second goal.
Oh, they've turned it round. Wow.
89th for 90 plus 3.
It's rigged. It's rigged, I tell you. It's rigged.
Brownie, metaphorically masturbate yourself live on air.
It's rigged. It's all rigged, I tell you.
Please don't.
Metaphorically. I did say literally.
The image is there. It's
We'll make a YouTube film out of that. No doubt.
No.
Yeah, game over at Liverpool, 2-1.
Yeah.
Welsh international Charlie Crew has come on as a substitute for Leeds. So
you don't give a shit, Tom.
Nah, Brownie will. He's one of Leeds' 4 Welsh players.
And that's why the last week's result hurts really bad if you think about it. Now you'd be on 20, Liverpool be on 24.
Full time at Bournemouth. Of course, football is rigged because everything's conspired to basically give Arsenal what they needed.
So, Spencer looks like Little Red Riding Hood when he puts his hood up there.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
I'm a non-binary.
Non-binary Little Red Riding Hood. The best kind.
Yep.
Fucking hell.
Yep, that's what I said.
Bayo for Watford has scored 4 goals in the second half.
Wow. That's a good performance.
That'll be the next player bought by Chelsea.
I was going to say, as a new manager about Arsenal, as a new manager about worn off, they were 1-0 down, and now they're 2-1 up.
Bournemouth that beat City 2-1.
It's more like a new manager.
Wow, City lost their first game then. That's good. We like that.
So basically, there'll be no Invincibles this year. I'll tell the children.
Yes, please tell the children, Tom, that you illegitimately have.
8-minute stoppage time at Ipswich. 8-minute stoppage time.
Wow.
We are the Welsh Brazilians.
That must be in the not in the football form, but in the form of how you like to wax yourself down there, probably.
Got quick question, Brownie. How would you feel if Cardiff was slated to come to Ellen Road in the next 2 weeks? How would you feel? Would you feel confident? I
reckon Cardiff, their form they're in at the moment, they could probably get a point.
They really could. They absolutely could. I'm just going to put it up here again for Sam's benefit. This is Sam Greenwood's YouTube channel. Please follow it if you already haven't. But obviously, keep an eye out because Sam is... Am I right in thinking you are going to make a weekly thing of your Thursday night endeavour?
Yes. Thank you for sharing that. Yeah, on Thursday nights, I've started a new little show just for fun. It's called Slags in the Dark because it's going to be me. Pretty much sit in the dark here, as you can see. And Tom is, I believe, you're going to be my regular guest who also sits in the dark. So it's called Slags in the Dark because we like slags and everyone's slags. We had a test show last Thursday on Halloween. We called it Slagoween. You can check that out. Go and have a look at it. It's on the up on the channel. Please follow it, share it. It's going to be Thursday nights at 8 p.m. UK time. It's going to be me and Tom, as I said, and we will be inviting other people to come on with us, depending on who's available and what's going on. It's a little bit of ad hoc evening chat show. We're trying to avoid football. That's my camera gone. Oh, the light's back on again now. Thank you. Yeah, so we're trying to avoid football because we talk so much football throughout the week. So we try and just talk other things, have a bit of fun, have a bit of a chat, involve everyone in the chat. You know, you can tell us what we talk about, or we can talk about what you're talking about. And yeah, just have a bit of fun, you know, slags in the dark, as it were. So join us on Thursday, 8 p.m. UK time. Check it out. And yeah, hope you can take part. Thank you.
Well, yeah, we had, in my opinion, we had fun on Thursday. Watch it if you like conversations about movies and TV shows.
That's what we pretty much talked about. Yeah.
I was going to say, like, not that I want to discourage people, but basically, if you don't like people talking movies and TV shows, then don't waste your time watching the Thursday episode. But generally speaking, it'll be a mismatch of things. So I feel like we can kind of go with the flow.
Pretty much what we feel like talking about. Pretty much anything, really.
Yeah, I ended up watching it back, I want to say yesterday.
Yeah, thanks, Spence. Thanks for that.
I enjoyed it. It was pretty good. I mean, like I said, I'm not a massive movie guy, but I don't mind watching people talk about things I don't know much about. So that really, it's good. If you're looking for something to kind of relax to while you're working or working out, it's worth a watch. So.
Yeah, thanks, Spence. It's just meant to be just light entertainment, just and something different from Arsenal and football, and yeah, just have a bit of a laugh. Yeah,
there's only so much you could speak about football.
Yeah,
It's 8 p.m. to answer your question, Stefan.
8 p.m. UK time. Yep, 8 p.m.
It will go live just after 7:59, and we'll try to go live just before 8:01. try to. That's how it works.
Yeah, the links in the chat. The links in the chat. So if you look further up in the chat, Stefan, the link's there. Just grab that, and then you can subscribe if you're not already subscribed. You slag.
To answer this, Jack Wilshere is a first-team coach at Norwich. He's not the head coach. He's assisting the head coach. He's not the assistant coach, but he's a coach at Norwich. I'm sure because he played there briefly, didn't he? So he has history there.
I think we loaned him to Norwich. I'm not quite sure. I know we didn't loan him. I don't think because he came pretty much straight into the. I can't remember.
He had a year there after West Ham binned him off.
I think it might have been. I think he's got some connections to Norwich. Yeah, I haven't checked it out. Yeah, Brownie
Morgan says.
Yeah, sorry. Go ahead.
Russ Morgan says I won't be listening to it whilst working out.
I mean, you have to work out, Russ, right? Oh, sorry.
Well, if you want some opinions on referees, we'll invite Russ. That's for sure.
Yeah.
So, Brownie, at what point are you ready for me to start doing the reading of the scores? Out of interest.
Sorry, quickly, just before you go to the scores and everything, I just want to address what Brownie's written. Yeah, he's when I was doing my channel probably about 3 years ago now. I just only do a little bit for fun. I would do a lot of quizzes. Do like general knowledge and also some football quizzes. Brownie always came on. We had a good time. Yeah, I remember some of those quizzes. Good fun. Yeah, good. I might do a quiz again just for a laugh. You know, it can be a bit of fun. A quiz.
You can only do so much.
Hello to Miss Melina. How you doing?
Hello. Good evening, Melina.
It's only so much you can do if you're bored.
Something happened in the autumn internationals, I suspect. Ryan, what has happened to
He's talking about England rugby is playing New Zealand right now.
Yeah, New Zealand I suspect it's not gone well for us.
Yeah, well, England was up 22-14.
I suspect they're not now, though, based on this.
I am too.
So is it time for the scores then, Mr. Tom?
No, you know what? I was remiss. I went a bit early because, as I usually do, went a bit early because Ipswich and Leicester are still playing.
Yeah, they're still in
the 90 plus 11. Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go.
Crazy.
Now it's over.
Right. Okay.
1-1.
So the Premier League scores sponsored by Sam Greenwood.
Thank you.
And no, the Premier League scores sponsored by Slags in the Dark and Slagoween, the greatest holiday ever.
Yep.
Newcastle United won. Oh, here we go.
There he is. There he is.
Gary, what have you got to say, sir?
Well, where's Sam go now?
Oh, it was my camera. Sorry, my camera's when it gets a bit dark, my camera's crap. Sorry. Yeah.
Your camera hates me.
It's not just his camera that hates you.
Hang on, it might come back if I get some light on. Hang on.
There's a lot of that going on.
Gold.
Where would I have to sneak out of the local garage to get alcohol because of Spanish COVID shutdown? One time I couldn't get a mix for my vodka, so I melted an ice lolly.
That's right. It's crazy.
There's the part-timer. There you go, Gary.
Right.
Gary's the Roman Reigns of the show now. He only turns up 4 times a year.
But I got the belt on when I do, right?
Why not? Yeah. You currently don't have it, but yeah, why not?
No,
but seriously, Gary, are you happy with how the football results have panned out?
No.
Explain.
Well, Brighton probably should have at least got a point out of that. They would have been maybe feel better. Yeah, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna be greedy. Yeah. So, but no, it went well. I did say before I left, I'm not expecting it to happen this way, but if City or Liverpool don't make the comeback, then it's not that bad of a day.
So basically,
Bournemouth should have scored that third goal.
Your biggest rival lost, but you're upset that the other rival won. Greed, absolute greed, Gary, absolute greed.
Why can't I ask for what I want?
I'm not saying you can't. I'm absolutely not saying you can't. But whatever you said, I was going to roast you for it regardless.
Sure.
But so obviously the Premier League scores sponsored by the Sam Greenwood Show, Slags in the Dark, Slagoween, some would call it. Newcastle United 1, Arsenal 0, Bournemouth 2, Manchester City 1, Ipswich Town 1, Leicester City 1, Liverpool 2, Brighton Hove Albion 1, Nottingham Forest 3, West Ham United nothing. Go fuck yourselves. Southampton 1, Everton 0, and they did go fuck themselves, as they should. Wolves versus Crystal Palace is a half past 5 kickoff. I remember it used to be 5:15. In the some I can't remember what it's called, but blind disabled league, something like that. Otherwise known as the Championship. Blackburn Rovers 0, Sheffield United 2, Oxford United 1, Swansea City 2, Stoke City 2, Derby County 1, Cardiff City 2, Norwich 1, Hull City 1, Portsmouth 1, Leeds United 3, Plymouth Argyle 0, Middlesbrough 0, Coventry 3, Preston North End 1, Bristol City 3, Queen's Park Rangers 0, Sunderland 0, Sheffield Wednesday 2, Watford 6, and in the FA Cup first round, Transmere Rovers 1, Oldham Athletic 2. I think it's all a scheme to drive the price down. The more they lose games, the easier it'll be for ASAP Rocky to purchase them. I could be wrong. Let's let Sam back in because why wouldn't we? Is that Damien Duff's team? Brownie, out of interest.
Damien Duff, that's a blast from the past.
Got some advice here from Russ Morgan. He's down for a Thursday night.
We'll see. If we need some expert opinion on referees, we know where to find you.
And Sevco fan. Yep. And yep. Well, congratulations, Damien Duff, former Premier League player, on winning the League of Ireland for Shelbourne last night. So congratulations. Welcome to your Champions League qualifying defeat in July.
How old is he now, Damien Duff?
700. No, it's probably about 40.
I mean, he played ages ago, didn't he, for Chelsea and what was it, Blackburn?
He was the first big buy for Chelsea, if I remember rightly.
Like when they went for big money,
they first got bought out. Yeah, he's actually 45.
He's still playing at 45.
Oh, he's the manager.
Oh bloody hell! I was getting worried then. God.
Chelsea bought him in 2003-04 for £17 million.
That was a lot of money back then, actually.
It was. Yeah. That sounds like nothing now, but that would have been like buying a player for like 100 million at the time, I suspect. And
it was a lot of money. I remember it was a big transfer.
But yeah. So Gary, is there any thoughts on football? How it has panned out? In all seriousness.
You know what? We got lucky that at least City wasn't able to pull away from us. But this is a Premier League. You got to come to play every game. You never know when the points. when you're gonna, you gotta come and play for 90 minutes. You gotta come and play every week. Everybody says it's a tough league, and it showed today. I mean, all the games that we wanted to go a certain way at halftime were looking that way, right? But got to be able to finish. I think that goal from Salah late, that's one of those things that, we've seen, that's what Saka can do for us. I think he, didn't have those opportunities today, but that's the kind of finish he can put away. If he gets the space and time, they didn't give him that much space today, so he need to go elsewhere. But yeah, the football was good today. All the score. I mean, there's lots of actions. 2 red cards. West Ham looks like they're in some serious trouble. Right? It's like every week they find a different way to lose. So this week they went down red. They went down 10 men and got punished for it. So yeah, Bournemouth. Like, what are they gonna say now? Because we lost to Bournemouth too. We gave up 2 goals to Bournemouth, right? And we were down a man. Yes, that's our fault, but they still got 2 goals on the top team at home, right? Bournemouth did the exact same thing against, some would say, one of the best teams in the world, right? And they KDB or not, they still should play better than that. You would think. Your boy, Shameless. Is it Shameless or what is it? Is that what he says? Shameless or whatever he said. But the Viking didn't score again today. He's struggling to find some form, I think. So, since he said that, I think that might have made a little chink in his armor there. He hasn't been the same since, consistently, anyways. But yeah, no, it's a tough league. We got our next 3 games, and we need to wake up. We got to find a spark. Hopefully, that spark is number 53, or an Erdogan, return to the field immediately, right? But otherwise, I think we're lacking the back. We're lacking something, and I think it's going to come from one of those 2 players. Hopefully, we see it, sooner than later. So yeah, no.
I have a problem on the left. I keep hearing about your left-hand side. I've got a solution. He's from the Dominican Republic, admittedly. I'm just saying.
His name doesn't rhyme with turbo or something like that, does it?
It might just do that. It might.
Okay,
I'm just saying. He plays where he wants.
I wish our left side was the problem. I think it's not the main problem for me, anyways. But it is one of the contributing factors to the struggle. But yeah, we need something coming off the left, but we need something going through the middle. I think the middle was a little bit. I don't know how you feel about it, Sam, but through the middle, I don't know if we got anything out of the Trossard Havertz that we wanted to see today.
No, they were
right.
They
So
were,
it was
they
just
were bad.
with Saka and basically everybody else. So
Yeah, struggling at the moment. Struggling. It's so annoying that we don't take the opportunity to catch up on City today. City actually lost today, and we got 0 points. So yeah, so annoying. Damn.
Fucking
Yes, I
hell.
still think I
it's
still
good to see
argue the
leads at
league
top
is
when it
wide
comes to
open.
that.
I'll still argue that this league is wide open. I just, at the end of the day, I think you said very earlier, Gary. I don't care what City does. I don't care what these other teams do. We have to handle. We've got to handle. I said it earlier to you, Gary, and I think I said it to Sam as well. I want to see where the player's body language is at. I don't buy into this Arteta out bullshit, but if he loses their locker room, that becomes something that you can't ignore. And let's see how they respond. I mean, Wednesday Champions League, I think it is, or Tuesday. They're playing Enter. See what you do. Handle your business there. If you can handle your business against Chelsea, let's just see. Make it the international break. And then the festive fixtures come on, and we're off to the races. But being 7 points down is not ideal right now at all.
I was going to say that I feel like I think we play up we play up and down to our competition this season. I mean, if you look at it, we going into that City match, we're like, this might be a tough one, right, on the road. I think we played really well, right? Come home to Bournemouth, I think we should be able to handle this one. We played down to them, essentially, in the way that we played that first 20 minutes before the red card. Got punished for it. Once again, we're playing Newcastle. Newcastle's struggling. We didn't bring it today. You go on the road in the Champions League. I feel like we've played up to those games, right? Nobody's gotten much on us, right? In those games so far, I don't feel like we've felt threatened at all in those games, right? So we're kind of right now seem a little immature in the sense of who we play up for and play down to. We need to be playing up for everybody, and it's just we're not doing that. Like you see it in these drop points and now we've got the our second loss in the league, right? So, and that's for me mentality, and that's going to come for the coach. Some of that's going to come from the coach, some of that's from the players. It's a combination of the two. But yeah.
I mean, the thing that's frustrating is the tactical selections here. At the end of the day, Havertz is a 9, but you could play him as a 10, and you could throw Jesus on there. It's on $265,000 a week. I don't like talking about money, but when you're the second highest earner on the team and not starting, that's a lot of money going to somebody to sit on the bench. You could have ran Havertz up as a 10. You throw Jesus in the middle at 9. You got Martinelli. You've got Saka. You have answers on the bench with Trossard and Sterling. The problem with starting what we started this last game is you really didn't have a lot of answers on the bench. You kind of you basically blew your load in the first half. And but again, not starting in worry is criminal in itself. If you're not gonna start a creative player in the midfield, what are we doing here? I mean, and you can't walk the ball into the net. That's the other thing. Every opportunity we're looking
Same old Arsenal.
We're looking for this 6-yard box goal when there's more field to play with. And I also, we could talk about Arteta, whether he's doing it or the players, but the players have to take a chance. You got to see the game and understand what's open and take a shot. You can't look over to Daddy Arteta and make a decision. You have to make a decision yourself. And I don't know. We'll see this week. So
have a good night, Stefan. Sorry to interrupt. Go on, sir.
I was just going to say, Inter Milan away midweek is going to be a hard game because they're good. They're a good team at home. They're a good counter-attacking team. We're gonna struggle against them, I think, after this game. And then we've got to come back and play Chelsea. And I'll tell you what, if we don't beat Chelsea, I'm going to start getting annoyed because Chelsea are not very, very good. We are better than them. They have a lot of weaknesses at the back. We can definitely beat them, and we should beat them. And if we don't, I'm sorry, that's just not good enough. It's just not good enough. We're going to see what happens now. But being this far behind already, I agree with Spencer. I think we still might see some surprises. We still got a lot of the season left. But when you're already 7 points behind, you know, you got to remember it's tough because these other teams, they're picking up a lot of points as well. Liverpool are going to be picking up a lot of points. City are going to be picking up a lot of points. You know, City are going to just keep going, even though they lost today. You know, it's going to be those 7 points means a lot at this stage of the season. You know, we've got to really make sure that doesn't open up to any more. We've got to close that gap, and that's what I'm worried about. Because at the moment, the way we're playing, it doesn't look like we're going to be closing that gap. But hopefully, we can change that.
I mean, the loss doesn't annoy me as much today.
I think. Okay. Sorry, no, I was going to say you were just talking about Chelsea there. I kind of felt like Chelsea will give us more opportunities than most teams. The problem is we're not taking advantage of it when we do get it. I mean, we get a quick turnover in midfield. We basically decide we have to go all the way back and reset, as opposed to the way that Newcastle scored today. Once they got that ball, every pass was forward. Every pass had a purpose, and bang, 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 score. I mean, basically it's 3 touches and the goal was scored, right? We don't do that enough, and when we do, it looks really nice, but we don't do it enough. Like, we never take advantage of what the defense gives us when they break down for just a second. Like I was saying, any lapses on the defense, we never take advantage of it. We always take our time to get up there and meticulously let's go up there, as opposed to just bang, 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 let's finish it off quickly. So, but yeah, sorry about that, Spencer. But,
No, you're fine. I'm just more annoyed with the 7 points we dropped, or you could say 9, from the red cards. I mean, a loss to Newcastle today is irritating. Okay. I mean, but we already knew we had lost 2 out of 3 up there, so that was going to be a tough game going in. But it's the games against Brighton where you're up 1-0 and you get that second yellow. We can talk about the pettiness of the ref all we want, but at the same time, it happened. It's a red card, and you drop 2 points there. And then the City game, you're up 2-1. And then Trossard has that moment in the first half where he just puts himself above the team and kicks the ball away, and then he gets the red card. Now you've dropped another 2 points. That's where you lose this league. You're not losing it when you lose like you did today. This is frustrating, but it's accumulation of errors. But it's other times where you didn't handle your business, where this would have been, potentially acceptable. You'd have been on 25 points sitting there. The Bournemouth game, you never know what's going to happen on that one. But down 1-0 with 11 men is better to come back from than down 10 men, and then. So that's where my frustration is. Today is frustrating, but ultimately I look back at those other games where the mental errors, the progression, the players know better. You have to take ownership of your business eventually, and that's where I'm concerned here going forward with this team is, have we done enough damage? Have we done damage to ourselves critical enough with those 3 red cards that that's basically screwed you. And now you're going to have to play the cups. And then that's not easy.
Sorry, I was just going to say the drop points, the 6 points dropped late in games, for me is more important than the red cards, because when you're, yes, some of them were down to 10 men, but that made a whole, you give us those 6 points, we're sitting 1 and 2 points ahead of Liverpool and City if all the scores stay the same. That's the difference for me. In those games, a couple of them were late, like after the 80th minute, we gave up leads. In 3 games, you can't do that. Not if we're striving to be top of the league. Those are the type of games, like the red cards were punishing, but the 30 seconds on City, the 10 points on Brighton, and I can't remember when Liverpool scored late, but we gotta, you gotta run through the tape. You gotta play all 90 minutes, and we've lost 6 points in the last 10 minutes of games. That's probably just as more important as the lapses in judgment and some of our, those red cards that we got as well. Because, even today, if we're running through the tape, we're punishing that goalkeeper today, right? And we didn't look like we were gonna score late in that game. And guess what? We should have been like, we have nothing else to do right now. Even if we lose 2-0, who cares? We're losing anyways. But if we get that goal, maybe things will change for us. And it didn't look like any desperation. And when's the last time I think we've heard Arsenal's probably going to score here? When have you said that in a while? We don't put enough pressure where you go, there's a goal coming. It's coming to Arsenal.
We're not ruthless. We're not ruthless. We've lost all that edge. We used to be ruthless. We're not ruthless anymore at the moment. Yeah.
Gary, are you on your laptop or on your phone?
I'm on my phone right now talking to you.
No problem. No problem. I was
But I
going
have
to
a
ask you if
laptop
you
in
could.
front of me.
Well, I was going to ask you if you could read out the FA Cup round 1 scores.
Yeah, I can
because
do
I just
that.
wanted to
Yeah, I
see
can
you
do that.
butcher out
Yeah.
the team's names would be mildly
Yeah.
amusing, I
No,
suppose.
I can do that. I was just looking at that actually.
But anyway, today at least we can say one thing. We can have a bit of a laugh and poke some fun at the City fans, the Manchester City fans, because they lost against Bournemouth with 11 men. You know, they were so cute and so cocky when we lost against them with 10 men. They went there and lost with 11 men. So yeah, so take that, City, you bunch of clowns.
And they only won last week 1-0. So they they miss Rodri.
Yeah, he's a big. Well, I think we're seeing that we really miss Erdegaard. I think Erdegaard, we see how much he is the beating heart in the way we play football, and I think Rodri is the same for that City midfield. So yeah, key players are missing there.
Yep. And maybe we have an answer, but we're not checking it out. So, but here are the scores from the FA Cup: Barrow 0, Doncaster 1, Brackley 0, Braintree 0. Actually, they were in extra time. It's like 11. Oh, is that right? 110 minutes. Is that right? They go extra time there. They go extra.
Yeah, the big clubs told them they have to play them all in one game. There's no replays anymore in the FA Cup, apparently.
Okay. All right.
So
there we
thanks
go.
for that, Sam.
Yeah, Bradford and Aldershot. Bradford wins 3-1.
Yep.
Bristol Rovers 2-1 over Weston Supermare. They're in the second half of extra time. Burton wins 1-0 over Scarborough. Carlisle, Downerman loses 1-0 to Wigan. Chesterfield at home wins 3-1 over Horsham. Crewe at home loses to Dagon Red by 0-1. Exeter home wins 5-3 over Barnet. Gillingham loses 0-2 to Blackpool. Grimsby loses at home to Yellowstone. I think that's how you say that. Hadnesford is up 4-3 in extra time over Gainsborough. Maidenhill and Crawley are 1-1 in extra time. Newport loses 2-4 to Peterborough United. Port Vale at home loses 1-3 to Barnsley. Reading up 2-0 over wins 2-0 over Fleetwood. That's my cousin, or I think it's like second or third cousin, plays for Fleetwood. He's he's the DM for them. Rockdale loses at home 3-4 to Barnsley. Rotherham loses 1-3 to Cheltenham. Rochall Downham loses 0-2 to Eppington. Salford Shrewsbury. Salford wins 2-1. Solihull Moors wins 3-0 over Maidstone. Southend United and Charlton are 3-3 in extra time. Stevenage and Gilsley 1-1 Guiseley in extra time. Stockport is up 2-1 on Forest Green in extra time. Swindon is up 2-1 on Colchester in extra time. Consbridge loses 1-4 to Harbour Town. Tranmere loses 1-2 to Oldham. Walsall wins 2-1 over Bolton. Woking loses 0-1 to Kingsbridge. Worthings? How you say that? Worthings loses 0-2 to Morecambe. And Morecambe. How do you say that?
Morecambe.
Morecambe. Yeah. Morecambe. Yeah, I screwed that up terribly. They went.
I'd get
3-2 over York.
Stefan to say that because Morecambe beat his Ipswich last year, didn't they?
That's
Is
true.
that right? And a game that will be up in a few minutes starting. Northampton will be playing Kettering. So there you go.
Wow. That's a lot of games. The FA Cup first round is a lot of games.
Yes.
My biggest thing, Russ Morgan did say, I love how Gary is struggling with quintessential English town names. I can pinpoint why the struggle occurs because Gary has the habit of putting S just randomly in team names. Like, for example, Tonbridge became Tonsbridge. And that happened at least. I don't think I'm exaggerating to say that specific thing happened 26 times, and it made it all the
I
better.
don't think it's 26 times. I don't think it happened.
I'm exaggerating. It was probably 13.
But I hear you.
But no, it was very funny. It was very funny. But yeah. So thank you for that, Gary. Thank you for being good sport.
I have one quick question.
Yep.
I just have one quick question for Gary. You said you had a cousin or someone in your family play for Fleetwood.
Yes.
Is his name Mac?
No. It's last name Bonds.
Right. Okay.
He's asking
like I said,
if his name is Fleetwood Mac.
Yeah. You know what? It went over my head. I do. If you on some of my playlists, I got a lot of Fleetwood Mac songs. I do like them. So there you go.
Yes.
Thank you, Brownie. Brownie gave me a thumbs up. I'll take it from you.
I personally thought it was fine, but that was when you were getting it wrong. That was why. But other than that, I thought it was a respectable performance. But
Thank you.
Russ Morgan is honing in on the Birmingham City, the Blackburn.
Oh, yeah, you know it doesn't say it on here, so I can only read the scores as it is.
No, that's because that's not what they're called. I don't know. But he's imagining like you were saying that. I imagine, but I don't know.
Okay.
But no, in all fairness, this has been fun. You got anything else to say, Spencer? You look like you're freezing cold.
Nah, I'm fine. I'm good. I'm just enjoying the conversation. I'm sitting back and shutting the fuck up for a little bit.
Fair enough. Fair enough. I better sort out some dinner for my family soon. So, other than that,
yeah, family over. It's been really quiet.
Well, your family noise was making up for it. So.
I hear you.
Hey, nothing wrong with that. If you get done for copyright, it's your own fault.
I don't have any copyright. Unless you can hear
I'm sure you don't, but maybe it's never intentional. Like, because the Jenny Jones show or whatever it is will probably go, "Oh, you broadcasted our program." It's like no one listened to it. It's fine. But no, in all seriousness, it was great seeing you all. It was great having a rare appearance from the host and creator of the road trip, Gary.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah.
Anytime. And I literally couldn't stop you even if I wanted to because you have the password. But yeah, that being said, Spencer. No, sorry. Let's go anti-clockwise. Sam Greenwood, is there anything you want to say to your loyal fans?
I want to say thanks for everyone for watching. Thanks for having me, as always. Thanks for everyone in the chat taking part. Check out the new show I'll be hosting Thursdays at 8 p.m. UK time called Slags in the Dark. It'll be a bit of a fun, mostly non-football, or hopefully non-football show. We'll just have a bit of fun, have a bit of a laugh, take part in it in the chat. It'll be great. Check it out. The link is further up in the chat. Tom shared it. Thank you. But yeah, not a good game today for Arsenal, but let's see if we can turn that around. It doesn't turn into a slump now, hopefully. And yeah, thanks again, everybody. Great to see you guys. Great to see Tom, Gary, and Spencer, and everybody. Hope you have a great rest of your weekend. Thank you.
Thank you for showing up in various guises. So I hear. I'd like to now hear from Joe Hendry. Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you everybody for coming today. Gary, Sam, a random campaign person who shouldn't have been showing up on the trip because he has other things to do, and 75% of the viewership doesn't vote in this country. So there's that. Well played. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your week. And if you say my name, I will appear.
Right. Beetlejuice.
Like I did clap after it. He doesn't know why we're doing the clap, but he just did it anyway. Amazing, amazing. You're the best. You're the best, Sam. The best, the best, the best. I spoke to Jared. You're the best. Anyway, so what? Gary, you've got anything to say to your fans? So I'm like, all these fans here are really your fans.
Thanks everybody for joining us. I know Mr. Tom has been holding it down, doing his bit. He does it well. As I said, he's turned the road trip into the train crash, but it works just so well. So I'm gonna blame some of that on Sam. I mean, I know Sam had a little bit to do with it, you know, but
never.
whichever alter ego of Sam or the Greenwood clan. But yeah, no, thanks for joining us. We'll do this again next week. We should have a full slate of panelists, and we'll do it again. Monday. Check us out on the trip. We'll be probably talking about Arsenal in the next games. We'll see how the second look of the game feels when I watch it again. Probably look at the same as the first time. But anyways, we'll chat it. We'll talk about it then, and then some. Thank you for joining. If you haven't already, hit the likes and subscribe, and we'll talk to you guys later. Go ahead, Mr.
It helps us in the algorithm because it might expose us to new people, and we'll replace you all because you're all fuckers. No. In all seriousness, hello to Anders.
Hey, Anders.
I'm sure it's not out of genuine hatred that you showed up at the end of the show. I'm sure it's just coincidence. But hello, how you doing, sir? Thank you to Gary for allowing us to still do the thing that we enjoy on Saturdays, even when he's not available for various reasons, all understandable. But again, he could just not do the show, but then we'd have nothing better to do. Whereas this is better to do than doing nothing. So, in my opinion, I think Sam and Spencer would agree. I could be wrong,
absolutely.
I am wrong. In my opinion, I have fun doing this. I like spending time with people that I don't necessarily hate as much as I hate others. But no. In all seriousness, it's been good fun, and I need to just press end the show. Otherwise, this will carry on going forever, and I will still be sat here at 9 p.m. tonight, going, "Yeah, guys, thanks for watching the show." And I'll leave you with one thing. Man, I love Furpo. Have a good night, everyone.
No.
Life is a journey. Don't wait.